Hey Lisa. Hi the Brain Clan. Hi Whisper to Me. Hi Sakura. Hi Justin. Hi Tammy. Hi Kathleen. I don't know why those videos go public when they're private. I have no idea there's like a glitch in YouTube or something. I have no idea. Or Streamlabs, one or the other. Hi VB. Hi Crystal. Hi Kathleen. Mom, hello. Hi Rise Up. Hi VB. Alicia, hi. Hi Veronica. Hi Evie. Hi What Big Eyes. Hi Angel Eyes. Angel Eyes, your first time here, huh? Hey there, Mary Kim. Hi Ann. Hi Yvette. Hi Christy. Christy Holland. I used to go to school with a Christine Hollands. Or is it Hollands? Hollands. Hey Linda. Hi Nanette. Hi Sharon. Hi Scarlet Rain. Sea Glass and Shells. Hey Kathy. How's your husband doing? Hi Julie. Hi Hennessy. Hi Randy. Hi Mary Beth. Oh, it's Sophie. Okay, sorry, Sophie. I don't know. When I have, hey Ivy Lynn. Hey Jokana. I thought so when I said it. I was thinking angel something else. There was an angel something else that was being a pest. Not you. Earthbound Spirit, sorry about that. Let's see. Who else do we have? Did I miss someone? You really enjoyed episode 2? 3? Which one? I don't know which, because I did 3 tonight. Did I? Isn't that? I don't know. Hi Paula, how are you? Hi Robin. Hi Trish. I got a notice. It's there. See, it's supposed to be private because I'm trying just to pre-record it like a live, but just by myself, so I can just put it right out there and get it out there. And for some reason, it keeps going public when it starts, and I have to change it to private, and then everybody gets all confused. But it's public now. Hey there, RC Breeze. Hi. No, you're not. You're not Angel Eyes. It wasn't you. It's hard when you don't have the picture in the avatar and a name is similar, and then you're like, ooh. But hey, Chase. Okay, I was wondering what's going on. Yeah, that's what's going on. I don't know why that's happening. Hey, Tessa. Sky. Hi, Sky. So there's a lot of new information. Yeah, maybe, because then I'll know right away it's you. There's a lot of information that came out in the Casey Jones case. Hi, Rosemary. I haven't seen you in a long time. Hi, Sam. Hi, Carol. So we'll wait till a few more people get here, and then we'll start going over that. And then, thankfully, Marketh and Lloyd are done for now. Hey Kayla, hi Laura. Did everybody see the verdicts? Marketh got life, but he still has to wait till those jurors hear that. I'd love to see their expressions when they tell those jurors that he murdered a police officer after that. And not only, I mean, he stood over her shooting. I've been busy today. Yeah, I even rode almost 6 miles. I was all sweaty, so I came home and I took a shower. That's why my hair is wet like this. Now it's mostly dry. Yeah, it's pretty dry now. But I took a shower. What else did I do? And then I had done some other work for the blog. I've got to get some other stuff up there. The bike ride was good. It was cold. It was weird. I have to get a ski mask. I know that sounds absolutely insane, but I do. Because you're riding, when you're riding and you go down a hill and that wind blows in your face, my eyes were tearing. My, when you breathe in and you feel like everything is burning. And I had gloves on. I had my winter coat on. And I was cold. I have to get a ski mask. You're going to do another live night ride through Frederick? Oh, when are we? I don't know. And I recorded episode 3, and there was other stuff I did today. I learned a new thing on Cricut that I'm going to do a tutorial about. What else did I do? Had dinner with the family. Talked about the other shed being moved. What else did we do? I think I found a breeder for the Westie. That's good. The puppies are due she has puppies due at the end of, in December. What else did I do? Ski masks were not invented. Wear it if you need it. Oh, for robbers. Be aware of the risks. What risks? Where I'm biking? Your Dollar Tree. Oh my gosh. Somebody, no, guarantee we don't have them. Hennessy. Somebody hauled those a couple of weeks ago. There's this one blogger, and I swear, like, she's got the in with Dollar Tree. I don't even believe she's going to the Dollar Tree. I think they're just sending the stuff to her. Seriously. She has the new stuff at least like 3 weeks before any other blogger does, and she showed those. Are they like they're stackable, and they're clear and stuff, and you could put cookies in them. And then did you see the other containers she showed? They were like white square, like rectangular containers, and they have Christmas scenes on them. She hauled those Tennessee like 5-6 weeks ago. She's in cahoots with Dollar Tree, I'm telling you. She always is bringing the new stuff. Either she's just got the best luck in the world and lives near the best Dollar Tree ever, or she's into it with them. Good for her. Good for her. My dog is snoring. It's like singing. Let's see. How did Kathy say her husband is? Let me see. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Joanne. I missed a little people, huh? Wildlife, hi. I'm trying to find Kat. Carolyn, my husband is in cardiac ICU, still trying to stabilize him in order to do the surgery. They found out today the pressure within the right side of his heart is too high. How are they doing the surgery? Are they cracking his chest, or are they going in through the side? See, my brother had it done in Columbia Presbyterian by the same doctor that operated on Bill Clinton, the same surgeon, and they cracked his chest. Even though there's some that go in through the side, this surgeon said that it was better to do it this way. It will tell you the worst thing with my brother was that he said they had to put him on a, I believe it was the ECMO, I think it's the heart-lung machine, and it has a pump or something, and you get like what they call pump head, and I think it's like that stuff after you have anesthesia and you're all messed up. He said that was one of the worst things of the whole thing. Now, I don't know if he would have had to do that had they gone in through the side. And this was, oh my gosh, this was 10 years ago now. But at least, but he's fine and everything. Yeah, knock on wood, he's good. And would you believe my other brother had a quadruple bypass, and he didn't go on anything like that, and he doesn't remember anything being bad with the recovery, and he's doing really great too. So I don't know, now they probably have totally different things, but yeah. Your son was on it twice? Did he have a weird thing in the recovery from it? Did I eat from last night? Yeah, I didn't get to look at it though. I saw something about a 911 call. What is that about? Is that about the little cupcake girl? Sometimes incision is worse than actual surgery. Yeah. Hey, Janelle. What came in here? Hi, Danielle. Hi, Leo's wife. I know if I missed you, Hey, Sharon. Veronica, I got you right. VST, hello. Kathy, Ivy Lynn, time for a change. Hi. I just want to see who. Okay, so Pet Nanny, hello. Actually, not really did I find it like that. I did a search and everything, and then I started to look into it, and I started to see that they had a Facebook page connected to it, and a lot of people there were had purchased like back in 2000, and their pets were still alive, or they had just passed at 16 and a half, 17. They have a very, very good health, just the way they do their health, like 2 years out checking the DNA health. Yeah, so I can tell you more about it later, but so let's see. Technical, yeah, has gotten way better. Yeah. Does heart disease run in my family? What do they say? They say either have the heart. No, not. I mean, it depends. If you say my brothers had two different things, completely different things. My cousin, they're males that have it. So I don't know. My cousin, my first cousin, had the mitral valve prolapse as well, and he had surgery like 2 years ago. And I think he didn't have anything either. If he went on the ECMO, he didn't have anything from it, because I remember I asked him. Okay, so my brother really isn't like heart disease. It's a heart. It was a valve problem that he's had probably a long time before he needed surgery for it. Okay. Your dad went through so many stints, leakage, repair. He died. Really? He died replacing his pacemaker? Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. Things kind of could have even been congenital at birth and got worse, right? Okay, so let's see. Well, okay, we're good. So there's a lot. Let's just go through Marketh real fast, because I just want to get finished with them and just not talk about them anymore until I think he's going to plea out. I don't think there's going to be another trial, but okay. I wanted to see the juror's face. Hi, Leaving Lizard. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Mama Drama. I wanted to see the juror's faces. I really did, when they say, hey, guess what? He killed a police officer, but we didn't get to see that. Hi, Sunflower Brown. Hi, Mandy Hall. Hi, Miss Mary. So he got life, and that's it for him. He'll be back in he's supposed to be, I think, January is his other trial. Okay. Complications from angiograms. Never take it for granted. Oh dear. Okay. Hello there, Crystal. So then the other one was little Jimmy Rodgers, and I do just call him little Jimmy Rodgers because it just reminds me of little Jimmy Dickens or something. He doesn't remind me of that. I don't know. All right. So he got convicted of second-degree murder, which can have up to a life sentence. So the judge is going to sentence him, I think it's the 18th of sometime in November. 18th of November, maybe. And that's done. And then that Mark Sievers will be we'll have to go on trial, and we'll see what happens there. And let me see what else. What else did I save? That's it. Okay, so let's go into this Jones thing. This is insane. Okay, so this is a lot of crazy stuff. And I'll tell you, I don't know where Gumshoe Graham is. I know she's having issues with her granddaughter with moving her in and all kinds of stuff. Gumshoe Graham, I know you're listening. But when you think of Gumshoe Graham, when we start to look at this, and Gumshoe Graham was around this trailer maybe a week after what we're going to talk about, that they went and took out and got and talked to people. So it's and the neighbors still didn't know much. This is weird. Okay, let me find my info. Is this it? Yeah. Okay. All right, so this is the incident report, and so the person that reported them missing was Nikki Jones, the mother. Okay, she's the missing mother of adult and grandmother to missing children. And then there is another recovered entry in here. It says Casei Chris Jones, Chris keeps coming up, it says remove as missing, endangered, found, deceased in Georgia. And then for the children, it was entered, and I want to see what date this was. This report date reported to. So the kids were recovered, because remember how long it took? And it just doesn't. Yeah, so you have all the kids listed here. You've got Preston, Cameron, McCallie, and Ayanna. They say all found deceased in Georgia. And then you have the suspect is Michael Wayne Jones. Murder, dangerous, depraved, and it says without premeditation on that part of it. Okay, other people. There's a Joseph Petrolino. That's the landlord of the incident. Then we have Johnny Murphy. He's a neighbor to the incident location. I don't think Gumshoe Graham talked to him. She talked to a Kevin or an Andrew or something like that. Then there's another person, Sarah Gilbert. And now I know she's the sister, but it doesn't even say that here. Then there's another person just listed as Jody. And white female, nothing else but a phone number. And it says no further information. And it says stepmother to Casey Jones. And then we have other person, Richard Bowers. That's the father of the two Bauer juveniles, ex-husband of Casey. And then we have Sarah Ann Jones, and it doesn't even say in here in this report that it's the ex-wife, but it is. Then we have Carlene Joanne Newburn. Doesn't say what she's in here. It just says her local, she lives in Florida, so she might be somebody that knows something. Then we have William Delaporte, and that's they're connected to the veterinarian clinic. I know. And then we have Matthew John Quinn. Again, we don't know what that's about. And we have another Zandre Sessler. And then our victims, Casei Jones, Cameron Bowers, Preston Bowers. We have those listed there. And then we have other person again, a Sharon Kreider, neighbor. And then we have another victim, Markeli Jones, Ayanna Jones. And then another person, Lee Kuhn. Doesn't tell us who that is. Katrina Lee Sessler, another person. Marianne Lee Williams. Kristen Thiessen. Jamie Carnes. We're going to get to the stuff in a minute here. And it's just going to go on. Connie LeClaire, that's his mother, right? Connie LeClaire, the one that we saw that. Wade Bennett. Don't know who, doesn't it? Trisha Galabrath. Anna Cortez, that's, what's his name's girlfriend, Richard's girlfriend. And then it says charge, count 1, homicide, felony, murder, dangerous, depraved, without meditation. That was for Casey's murder. Okay, then it lists the car, the 2017 Chrysler Pacifica. And let's see here. They took, okay, this is the evidence they took. They took a computer, a Chromebook 15. They took forms. So there was signed consent to search storage media form. They took a tent in a blue case. They took a blue folding chair. Okay, they took buccal swabs from Nikki Jones, that's Casey's mother. They took buccal swabs from Michael Jones and from Richard Bowers, they did. Let's see. They took a red toothbrush belonging to Cameron. They took a blue toothbrush belonging to Preston. They took a DVD containing digital images of the scene. They took another DVD containing digital images of the scene. And a DVD containing digital images of the vehicle, the 2017 white Chrysler Pacifica. And they took a DNA blood swab from the corners of the spare bedroom marked at easel 2A, the swab from the spare bedroom closet floor. Okay, they took suspected blood swabs from the northeast corner floor of the spare bedroom and from the northeast corner spare bedroom closet. They took another blood swab from the master bedroom east side wall and from the exterior master bedroom closet door and the bedroom door frame. And they took more blood swabs from the master bedroom east side wall and from the exterior master bedroom closet door again. Let's see here, we have another one from the master bedroom floor and the master bedroom floor in another place. Okay. And again from the master bedroom floor. And again, so we've got quite a few from the master bedroom floor. Suspected blood swabs for the master bedroom floor again and the master bedroom closet floor. So, okay, there's a lot of these. Okay, so we have all that still in the master bedroom, the bathroom tub. Okay, the master bedroom tub, the sink. Then they say DNA, biological, suspected body fluids swab from behind the northeast corner baseboard located inside the spare bedroom. and suspected body fluids, a blood swab from the spare bathroom tub was taken, and the crime scene log was received. Suspected touch DNA swabs were taken from the front passenger side airbag. I guess the airbag went off in his crash there. The steering wheel, the gear shifts, the knobs of the white Chrysler Pacifica. And let's see here. They took more touch DNA swabs from the trunk handle of the Pacifica and from the driver's door handles. And let's see here. You know what? How don't I just put this over here so you can see this with me? Okay. No, I can't find my mouse. Get over there. Oh, there we go. And the interior rear driver's door handle. For some reason it repeats it twice here, so interior rear passenger door handle, swab from rear passenger door handle. And then evidence, they found 3 Florida driver's licenses, those were Casey's, Social Security card, of decedent Casey Chris Jones. And let's see, I just want to make sure that you can see that. Yes. Oh, no, you can't. Hold on a minute. I have to move this over a little bit. Okay, I think now you can see it. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Elimination, buccal swabs from coroner. Fingerprint filament brushes from the Chrysler Pacifica, water from the mop bucket located on the living room floor, vinyl flooring with suspected body fluids cut from the northeast corner of the spare bedroom. Okay, a piece of the baseboard with suspected body fluids removed from the northeast corner of the spare bedroom. Pieces of the baseboard removed. Handwritten note located on the floorboard underneath the front passenger seat. Hammer with suspected body fluids located on the floorboard underneath the front passenger seat. Shower curtain with suspected body fluids removed from the vehicle. Zip ties removed from the vehicle. A bent bar with suspected body fluids removed from the vehicle. Sterilite 50-gallon tote with suspected body fluids removed from the vehicle. Pillow with case removed from vehicle. Comforter containing duct tape and rope removed from the vehicle. Empty beer cans recovered by Brantley. Light colored shorts, Star Wars t-shirt, blue jeans and belt. Wrangler button shirt, dark colored t-shirt, dark colored towel, plaid patterned button shirt, blue jeans, Twister brand cowboy hat, 3 prescription pill bottles removed from the vehicle. Chief Investigator Mark Stone's gloves removed from the vehicle. Coroner Wyatt Blount's gloves removed from the vehicle. Baseball bat collected from Sarah Jones. Why would she have the baseball bat? Then that's weird. Okay. Digital images. Rug, white female was in the rug. That's black elastic band and rubber band with suspected hair from the white female, red bra, panties, and white trash bag with child's panties, white female, paper towel, dryer sheet, white female, shower curtain, black and white, clear. Tank top, towel, gray plastic tote with lid, and that looks like where 9-year-old Cameron was in that. Red suitcase with a dog leash, trash bag, and clothing. Did we ever find out where his dog is? 9-year-old Cameron. Plastic sheeting with duct tape, 9-year-old Cameron. Plastic sheeting with duct tape, 9-year-old Cameron. Small portion of plastic material, 9-year-old Cameron. Shorts, 9-year-old Cameron. Red shirt, 9-year-old Cameron. Boxer briefs, 9-year-old Cameron. Identifying tags from body bag of 9-year-old Cameron Bowers. Towel with suspected bone fragment of 9-year-old Cameron Bowers. Bone fragment. Okay, something's already not adding up with what he said. Pink plastic tote with lid, 5-year-old Preston. Plastic sheeting with duct tape, 5-year-old Preston. Multicolored blanket, 5-year-old Preston. One black garbage bag, 5-year-old Preston. 2 black garbage bags, 5-year-old Preston. Blue denim shorts, 5-year-old Preston. Plastic sheeting with duct tape from 5-year-old Preston. White plastic garbage bag, 5-year-old Preston. White blue short sleeve shirt from 5-year-old Preston. Identifying tags from 5-year-old Preston. Gray metal cap, 5-year-old Preston. Ligature zip tie, 5-year-old Preston. Blue plastic tote, Marketh and Ayanna Jones. He put the girls in one together. Baby bottle for Ayanna, 1-year-old. Multiple absorbent pads, Marketh and Ayanna Jones. Plastic sheeting with duct tape, Marketh and Ayanna. Disposable diaper, 1-year-old. Pink shoes and disposable diaper on the 2-year-old. Multicolored shirt dress for the 2-year-old. Black gray plastic garbage bag for Marketh and Ayanna. Identifying tags for Marketh and Ayanna. 2 body bags, 1 body bag. iPhone in blue and gray case for Michael Jones, received from the detective. Multiple blood card in sealed plastic bag. 2 fingerprint cards from white Chrysler Pacifica. 1 rough sketch of single wide mobile home. Okay, so now let's go into this. On September 14th at approximately 2015 hours, I responded to 14680 Southeast 86th Terrace in reference to conducting a well-being check reported by Nikki Jones, who had called in requesting law enforcement to check on her daughter, Casei. She was said to be at the residence with her husband, Michael Jones, and multiple children. Upon arrival, I found the residence was completely emptied out. There was no furniture or personal items in the residence. It also appeared it had recently been cleaned. I conducted numerous computer queries for Casei Jones and Michael Jones, only locating the address of 2018 Vine Street, Leesburg, for both subjects. I then made contact with the reporting person, Nikki Jones. Nikki Jones advised me she is the mother to Casei Jones and is concerned about her welfare due to suspicious circumstances that have transpired over the last 6 weeks. Nikki Jones advised approximately 6 weeks ago that Casei Jones sent her a text message requesting she watch her 2 children for a few days, and Nikki Jones agreed, as she watches the children regularly. Soon after, Michael Jones brought Marketh and Ayanna to her residence in Dellen, Florida. After a few days, she received another text from Casei asking her to keep the children for a few more days because she was sick. She received the same type of message from Casei Jones on a few occasions when she had the children. Nikki Jones ended up keeping Marketh and Ayanna for approximately 2 weeks before Michael Jones came back to pick them up by himself. While Nikki Jones had the 2 children, she became increasingly concerned for the well-being of Casei because it was completely out of character for her not to have contact with her daughter. The unusual behavior from Casei Jones continued, and Nikki Jones did not have any voice or visual contact with Casei Jones for the duration of the time she had Marketh and Ayanna. When Michael Jones was coming to get the children, Nikki Jones asked for Casei to come with him because she had not heard from her or seen her during those 2 weeks. Nikki was concerned at that time because she usually spoke with Casei almost every day, whether it be by text message, phone call, or video chat. Nikki Jones advised she was extremely close with Casei and maintained constant contact with her. Nikki Jones further reported Casei Jones has her 2 other children, Cameron and Preston Bowers, with her. Their biological father shares custody, but the 2 have been with Casei for the last few months. Nikki Jones has not heard from or seen those 2 children either. During the course of the last 4 weeks, Nikki Jones attempted to contact Casei by multiple text messages and phone calls, but the phone went straight to voicemail, and she never received any text messages back on 9/14/19. She decided to call the Marion County Sheriff's Office to request a well-being check. I then made contact with the neighbor, Johnny Murphy. He advised me he did not know Casei or Michael Jones well. He only saw them occasionally. Johnny Murphy could not provide any specific dates, but advised approximately 2 weeks prior he was approached by the property manager, Patrick, who asked Johnny Murphy to walk with him through the residence because of an odd smell. Johnny Murphy advised he walked through the residence with Patrick and observed the residence was still full of furniture, personal items, and photographs. Johnny Murphy advised it did not appear anything had been removed from the residence, but there was an awful smell. Johnny Murphy described the smell as something dead. Johnny Murphy then exited the residence and did not have any further involvement with the residence. The next day, Johnny Murphy advised he saw the couple's white Chrysler Pacifica minivan in the driveway. The minivan left that afternoon, and it has not returned to the location. Johnny Murphy did advise he believes he saw the vehicle leaving the Little Lake Weir subdivision one time in the last week. The vehicle also had a rear window completely broken out. Wow. Sounds like. I then made contact with the landlord, owner of the property, Joseph Petrolino, by phone. Joseph Petrolino advised he lives in Boca Raton and would not be able to respond to the location. He advised sometime around August 23rd, he initiated the eviction process on Michael Jones and Casei Jones. He made contact with Casei Jones and told her the process had been started. Casei Jones advised him she no longer had anything to do with Michael Jones and to contact him for any further information. Joseph Petrolino notified Michael Jones of the eviction on 8/23. He received a text message from Michael Jones advising he was leaving the residence and he would leave the key on the counter. Joseph Petrolino attempted numerous times to contact Michael to have a conversation with him, but was unable to make contact with him. Joseph would not explicitly state he had the residence cleared of all of the personal property, but he alluded that he had it thrown away. He also advised after Michael Jones and Casei Jones had vacated the property, one of his property managers cleaned the residence and made some repairs. So what about the U-Haul? I thought he had a U-Haul, so now they're saying the landlord is the one that cleaned out the trailer? That's interesting. And had it cleaned before the crime scene got there. Okay. Joseph Petrolino advised if we needed to go into the residence, the lockbox code and the key should be in the lockbox. During the time on scene, I canvassed the exterior of the residence. Looking through all of the windows, I observed the entire residence was empty. In the east bedroom, there was a small white fan running, and the air conditioner in the living room was also on. In the west bedroom, I observed a small red stain on the dark laminate flooring. I was unable to determine exactly what the discolorant was, but it appeared dark red in color. Sergeant M. Moore responded to the scene, and I made contact with Joseph Petrolino by phone. I confirmed his identity by name, date of birth, and social security number while on the phone. I advised Joseph that I would keep him on the phone while we entered the residence with his permission. I confirmed he could revoke our consent to be in the residence at any point in time, and narrated to him as we entered the front south door. Immediately as Sergeant M. Moore opened the door, I observed what I know from my experience to be the odor of decomposition of a deceased animal or human being coming from the residence. I then noticed 2-gallon containers of cleaner and bleach next to a mop bucket at the door. The residence was completely clear of any furniture, except for the kitchen appliances. As I walked through the residence, I detected the odor of decomposition mixed with the odor of cleaning supplies throughout the home. I asked Joseph Petrolino if he had paid a company to clean the residence or if one of his men had done the cleaning. Joseph at first refused to answer, but eventually advised one of his local property managers had mopped the floors and cleaned. He also knew the fan and air conditioner were running because the property manager advised it smelled like a dead body. In the east bedroom, it appeared new laminate floor and baseboards had been installed. This was evidenced by a slight difference in color of the flooring, with the adjacent living room and nail holes still present in the baseboards. I asked Joseph Petrolino if he could tell me what repairs had been made, at which time he advised he was revoking his consent for us to be in the residence. Sergeant Moore and I immediately exited the front south door and locked it as we exited. The key was placed back in the lockbox and the lockbox secured. The Major Crimes Unit was being notified, and Detective Bartlett responded to the scene. I briefed Detective Bartlett on the phone as he responded to the location. Through a computer query, I discovered that Casey Jones has a 2017 white Chrysler Pacifica registered to her. The vehicle has a Florida tag assigned to it, and the back window is busted out. During the shift, Sarah Gilbert, the older sister to Casey, called in looking for more information. What happened? What's going on? Linda's saying something? I don't know. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. When Casey, let's see, Sarah Gilbert advised me she speaks with Casey Jones at least once every 2 weeks. Sarah Gilbert advised she has not heard from Casey since about 8/26, when Casey made a Facebook post about losing everything. Sarah Gilbert advised me she has added concern because about 2 months ago, Casey and Michael Jones were at Jody Gilbert's residence in Elkhart, Indiana, that's her stepmother, and got drunk. A skirmish ensued when law enforcement was called to the location when Michael Jones attempted to leave the location with the juveniles in the vehicle while he was intoxicated. Sarah Gilbert was not sure what the end result was, but she knows Michael and Casey Jones left the residence in the next morning before anyone else woke up. Sarah went on to advise she found it extremely odd that Casey was not posting on social media. She advised Casey Jones's oldest son's birthday and Sarah Gilbert's birthday had gone by, and there had been no mention of either. Sarah Gilbert advised Casey Jones always post something about birthdays on social media. Later in the shift, Richard Bowers also called in advising he was the ex-husband of Casey Jones and wanted more information. I made contact with him by phone, at which time he reported he was currently in the United Kingdom on vacation. But he had seen a Facebook post requesting anyone with information on Casey Jones to call the Marion County Sheriff's Office. Richard Bowers advised he would be returning on Sunday, 9/22. Richard Bowers advised he is the father to Cameron and Preston. He and Casey Jones have shared custody of the children. She currently has the 2 boys with her. Richard advised he does not keep constant contact with Casey, but they communicate via phone app due to child custody agreements. He has not heard from Casey since 8/22. He advised both Preston and Cameron's birthdays have passed, and he has not heard from them. He has made numerous attempts to call to speak with them, but he has not been able to make contact. Richard Bowers also found it odd that Casey has not made any social media posts since the end of August, because she normally makes a post every day or two. Richard Bowers reported if the 2 had gone anywhere together, it was most likely to Michael Jones's mother's house in Vermont or another unknown relative's residence in Indiana. He could not provide any physical evidence or possible cities. Due to the circumstances surrounding the disappearance of the subjects, I request the juveniles and Casey Jones be entered into FCIC and CIC as missing, endangered, and be on the lookout issued for the vehicle. Okay, the camera footage is going to be uploaded. All right. Supplement on 9/15/2019, TF 2109. I received a call from Carlene Newbern in regards to a Chrysler Pacifica bearing the Florida tag, blah, 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 when she observed in the area of Sharps Ferry Road and Southeast 1st Street near the game preserve on Friday, 9/13. She advised the vehicle left the area, which is heavily wooded, at a high rate of speed. She advised she was able to write down the tag, but could not advise how many occupants were in the vehicle or who was driving. She advised that the vehicle headed westbound onto Sharps Ferry towards baseline SR 35, at which time she lost sight of the vehicle. She advised she called today because she was browsing through Facebook and saw the post about the missing endangered individual. Her contact information is below. I boloed the area of the game preserve and did not observe any suspicious activity. However, it is a large area with lots of back roads which are very difficult to navigate. At this time, I have no further information. My body cam video was not activated due to telephone contact only. Case remains active and pending. Supplement. On 9/15/2019, Deputy Trainee Sizemore and I made contact with Mrs. Newbern and asked her if she would show us exactly where she observed the vehicle. Mrs. Newbern agreed and directed us to the exact location where she observed the vehicle to be sitting. Gate 8 of the Nature Preserve, located at approximate 10,100 block of Southeast 1st Street Road. Upon our arrival, we conducted a brief search of the area and did not locate anything suspicious. We were advised by Lieutenant Spicher to maintain security of the area until further notice. We provided security until we were advised the victims were located. My body cam video should be uploaded to evidence.com after being docked at the district office. Deputy Trainee Sizemore has not been issued a body-worn camera at this time and has no camera footage of this incident. Okay, now here we have, I made contact with Richard Bowers by phone after receiving a voicemail from him indicating he had more information. Richard Bowers advised me that he had Cameron and Preston Bowers the last few weeks of July, 2019 of course, and the first few weeks of August. During that time, Cameron Bowers made numerous statements to him that Michael Jones was abusive towards the children in the home and Casey Jones. Cameron indicated Michael and Casey physically fought almost nightly. The fights were said to be violent and would go on for hours. Cameron Bowers also advised that Michael Jones would physically abuse all of the children in the home, hitting them with clothes hangers or anything else he could find when he became angry. Why didn't that father do something? Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Richard Bowers also wished to provide personal insight to the situation. He felt he knew the involved parties well because he had spent many years in the family prior to the divorce. Richard Bowers reported that he found Nikki Jones, Casey Jones, Michael Jones, and Sarah Jones to be untruthful on numerous occasions. He described their untruthfulness as a daily habit in which they would make up stories and situations to share with family and friends for no reason. Richard Bowers also advised that a few years ago a warrant was issued for Michael Jones stemming from an incident in Orange County where he burglarized his place of employment, Mount Dora Veterinary Hospital. While the active warrant was out, Casey Jones rented a storage shed and harbored Michael Jones. Casey Jones is said to be extremely defensive of Michael Jones and the children. Richard Bowers reported that while he was married to Casey, she continually told him that if anyone came after her kids, there would be hell to pay. I advised Richard Jones that we would be in contact with any further information. Later in the shift on 9/15, I made contact with William Delaporte, who is the owner of the Mount Dora Veterinary Clinic. William Delaporte advised he had information about Michael and Casey. He reported hiring Sarah Jones approximately 7 or 8 years ago as a receptionist at his veterinary hospital. After some time of her working for him, she reported that she and her husband, Michael Jones, were moving back to Vermont because Michael Jones could not find work. William Delaporte hired Michael Jones as a veterinary tech and became close friends with Michael Jones. William Delaporte then hired another employee, Casey Bowers, now missing Casey Jones. Michael Jones and Casey Bowers began having an extramarital affair and were romantically involved. Michael Jones then moved into William Delaporte's home as he went through a nasty divorce from Sarah Jones. Over the course of the affair, Michael Jones told William Delaporte and his wife a multitude of fabricated stories, which they later discovered, and terminated his employment and stay at their home. Michael Jones left the residence after being terminated and unlawfully entered the veterinary hospital and stole numerous items, including a firearm. Law enforcement issued a warrant for his arrest but were unable to locate Michael Jones for some time. Lake County Sheriff's Office eventually located Michael Jones and arrested him for those charges. Since his termination and arrest, William Delaporte has had no contact with Michael Jones. William Delaporte learned from his wife, Casey Delaporte, that Michael Jones had been staying with his ex-wife, Sarah Jones, in St. Augustine for the past few weeks. Approximately 1 week ago, he left the location without notice, advising he needed to go find his kids. I was unable to reach Casey Delaporte at this time, but was able to obtain the phone number for her. She is said to have more specific dates for this information. Okay, let's see. On September 15th, 2019, at approximately 19:55 hours, I responded to 10165 Northwest 8th Lane in order to recover possible evidence related to this case. Upon arrival, I made contact with Matthew Quinn, who directed me to his back porch where I observed a long rectangular blue canvas case which held a tent and a small blue folding chair. I bagged the 2 items in an unused garbage bag that was provided to me by Mr. Quinn and placed the items in my patrol vehicle. I transported the 2 items, and sealed them in paper evidence bags. I relinquished custody of the items to the evidence technician, Holzer. This concludes my involvement. So on September 16th, while assigned as a major crimes detective, Sergeant Rodriguez requested that I assist with conducting a neighborhood canvass around the area of the mobile home. Upon my arrival, I responded and made contact with Mrs. Katrina Sessler, who advised me she lives with her husband, Mr. Zandre Sessler, and a roommate, Marianne Williams. Mrs. Sessler advised she does not know the Jones family. Mrs. Sessler stated she only saw the family a few times, as they were either leaving or coming home. Mrs. Sessler advised her husband would know more about them. Mrs. Sessler advised she and her family have lived at her address for approximately 3 years. Mrs. Sessler stated the Jones family has only resided in the neighborhood for approximately 2 months. I made contact with Mr. Zandre Sessler. Zandre advised he saw Michael Jones on the week of Hurricane Dorian's arrival to Florida. Zandre estimated the date to be about Tuesday, September 3rd. He advised he remembered Hurricane Dorian was supposed to hit on Sunday the 1st, and it was 2 days after, making it the 3rd. Mr. Sessler advised on the date of September 3rd he watched Michael Jones put black bags into the back of a white van which was missing a window. Mr. Sessler stated he did not know or ask Mr. Jones what was in the bags. Ms. Marianne Williams has only lived at the Sessler's residence for approximately 1.5 months. Ms. Marianne advised she did not have any information regarding the Jones family. However, she saw a few maintenance men cleaning out their house approximately 1 week ago. That concludes my interview. Statements contained in this report. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I was contacted by Detective Bartlett, who advised Michael Jones told him that he disposed of a baseball bat and a bag containing evidence from the crime scene. Michael Jones allegedly disposed of the evidence in a dumpster at a lawyer's office south of Sunset Harbor Road before you get to Highway 42 on the west side of South U.S. Highway 441. Detective Bartlett also advised Michael Jones disposed of Casey Jones's cellular phone, which he broke before disposing it in the dumpster. The dumpster was in the back of an old gas station across from the City Hall in Bellevue, Florida. Detective Jay Miller and I drove south on U.S. Highway 441 and found only one law office attorney, Ronald Jones. Interesting name. Located at 15600 U.S. Highway 441, there was a dumpster in the front of this business. The dumpster appeared to have been recently emptied. None of the aforementioned items were present. We made contact with the staff inside, who stated their scheduled day of pickup is Monday. We made contact with the neighboring business. He advised he would make contact with me at a later time with the information. Detective Miller and I responded to 5408 Southeast Abshire Boulevard to the Chevron, which is closed and abandoned. There was a dumpster in the rear of the property, which also had been recently emptied. We checked the Citgo located at 5344 and the Haviline Oil Change Center, and they were met with negative results. This concludes involvement up until this point. I request this case status remain unchanged. Okay, let's see here. On September 16th, while assigned to the Major Crimes Robbery Homicide Unit, I was assigned to respond to the incident location, 14680 Southeast 86th Terrace, Somerville, Florida, in response to assisting with a neighborhood canvass. I spoke with Sharon Kreider, who advised she did not know the names of the individuals at the incident location. Kreider was aware of a male subject who resides there. Kreider had last seen the male subject at the location approximately 2 or 3 weeks prior. Kreider also observed a U-Haul truck outside while he was there. Sharon Kreider advised she also knew of a female and multiple children who resided at the incident location. Kreider advised she last saw them there approximately 3 or 4 weeks prior. Kreider had no further information relevant to the case. I then spoke with Lee Kuhn, another neighbor, who had no information relevant to the case. I attempted to make contact at some other residences, but they appeared to be vacant. I then responded with Detective Shannon Wiles to various locations in order to locate evidence relevant to the crime. We were unable to locate any items. Please see Detective Wile's supplement for further information. Statements contained in this report. Okay. The audio recorded interview was uploaded. All right. And follow up here on requesting the listed missing endangered persons and vehicle be removed from the FCIC and CIC computer. The vehicle was located in Georgia. It is now in the custody of Brantley County Sheriff's Office. The missing endangered Casey Jones was found deceased in Brantley County, Georgia, as were the children listed in this report. The case remains pending, active, and the case's heading is being changed to homicide. Case remains pending, active. On September 16th, 2019, Ryder obtained the original warrant for the arrest of Michael Wayne Jones. The arrest warrant and probable cause affidavit of Detective Simpson was then provided to the Marion County Clerk of Court and delivered to the Marion County Sheriff's Office Warrants Unit. Ryder has submitted a request to the Florida Department of Children and Family to identify any prior cases involving this family, as a request to Marion County Public School to determine if any of the children had been enrolled in public school. Case status pending, active. Supplement 9/16/19. I was made aware of this case during a morning briefing and assigned to the task of completing a residential search warrant of the incident location. I responded to the incident location at 10:32 and met with Sergeant Rodriguez and Forensics Technician King. I was briefed by Forensics Technician King of the searching that had already been conducted the prior day. Upon entering the incident location, I detected an odor of decomposition. I observed that the flooring inside the trailer was a faux wood flooring made of vinyl, and I observed a mop and bleach container near the front door of the residence. In the northeast bedroom of the trailer, I detected a stronger odor of decomposition, and I observed a reddish discoloration near the corner of the room. I assisted Forensics Technician King with removing the baseboards and vinyl flooring from that area and observed apparent decomposition fluids on the baseboards and vinyl flooring in that corner. I collected no items of evidence or took any photographs. After finishing the aforementioned task, I completed an inventory and return form and left a copy of the search warrant at the residence. I have no further information at this time. Case remains pending, active. Follow-up. Ryder identified 2 prior Florida Department of Children and Family investigations with the mother, Casey Bowers, DCF intakes, and both identify issues involving the former husband, Richard Bowers. Ryder is aware that DCF has also initiated in reference to this incident. The Marion County Public Schools does not have any records pertaining to the listed children. However, the DCF records identify that the family previously lived within Lake County, Florida. Child Protective Investigator Thiessen was assigned from the Florida Department of Children and Families on this investigation. Case status pending, active. On Monday, September 16th, I attended a briefing in reference to this case, during which I was provided with details of the investigation up to that point. I was asked to respond to the incident location and assisting with a neighborhood canvass. I responded to the scene along with Detectives Weil, Jay Miller, F. Scala, who also assisted with canvassing the neighborhood. Upon my arrival, I first spoke with Johnny Murphy, who lives we don't need the whole address, next door to the incident location. Mr. Murphy was in his vehicle and about to leave when I made contact with him. Mr. Murphy stated he had already spoken with a detective and provided a statement. He did tell me that he would often hear victim Casey Jones and her husband, suspect Michael Jones, arguing. Mr. Murphy advised he had not seen the victim in a couple of months. He stated he last saw the suspect approximately 1 week ago. After briefly speaking with Mr. Murphy, he left the area and made contact with his wife, Casey Murphy. Ms. Murphy advised she last saw the victim Jones approximately 1 month ago. Ms. Jones never saw the children. Ms. Jones advised she saw the Joneses' van at the incident location 2 weeks ago, but she did not see who drove it there. Ms. Murphy advised me her 12-year-old son often complained he was unable to sleep at night because of the constant arguing and yelling coming from the incident location. In addition to the yelling, he would also hear things banging around. Ms. Murphy told me the Jones family moved into the incident location a couple of months ago. Ms. Murphy stated she spoke with Casey Jones once, shortly after they moved in. Ms. Murphy stated they did not speak about anything significant. Ms. Murphy stated the maintenance man for the incident location, Patrick, asked her husband to go into the incident location earlier this week. Patrick told Mr. Murphy he thought the incident location smelled as if something had died inside and wanted Mr. Murphy to go in and confirm his suspicions. Mr. Murphy went into the incident location and confirmed it did smell as if something had died inside. Mr. Murphy told his wife the incident location still contained furniture and clothing when he went inside. He also informed her he saw an empty holster inside the incident location. After speaking with Ms. Murphy, I responded to 8710 Southeast 146th Street Road. However, it appeared as if no one was home. I then responded to 8665 Southeast 147th Street and spoke with Tasha Trier. Mrs. Trier did not know the Jones family and did not have any information to provide. On September 17th, 2019, I drove to the Brantley County Sheriff's Office in Nahunta, Georgia, where the suspect's 2017 Chrysler Pacifica minivan was being stored. Chief Deputy John Simpson, Jr. Was with the Brantley County Sheriff's Office. He had obtained a search warrant for the minivan from Brantley County Magistrate Court on September 15, 2019. The warrant was issued in reference to murder and aggravated assault and ordered the seizure of victim Casey Jones' body and anything used in her death. Upon my arrival at the Brantley County Sheriff's Office, I assisted evidence technicians A. Deweese and J. King with the execution of the search warrant issued for the Jones van. I immediately detected the strong, obvious odor of human decomposition emitting from the van. The inside of the van contained plastic totes, clothing, tools, and other miscellaneous items. I observed several mothballs throughout the interior of the van. I also observed 3 pairs of latex gloves in the back of the van. I asked Chief Deputy Simpson if the gloves had been in the van at the time of the accident or if they had been left in the van by law enforcement personnel who had responded to the scene of traffic accident suspicion Jones had been involved in. Chief Deputy Simpson advised the gloves had been left there by law enforcement personnel. Those individuals were identified and technician Deweese collected buccal swabs from each one. In addition to the above listed items, I observed a gray plastic tote which was cracked and broken. The tote contained liquid believed to be body fluid. Chief Deputy Simpson informed me that was the tote victim Casey Jones was found inside of. There was a bent metal pipe in the van, which Chief Deputy Simpson advised was in the tote with the victim Casey Jones. I also observed a comforter, which had duct tape attached to it. The comforter was soaked in a fluid, which is also believed to be body fluid. A fluid-soaked pillow was in the van next to the comforter. There was also a shower curtain or vinyl shade in the van, which was soaked in fluid as well. A blue plastic tote was in the back of the van. It contained miscellaneous tools. In addition to the tools, the tote also contained zip ties. As we continued to search the van, we located what appeared to be a fingernail. The fingernail was collected and I maintained possession of it. I will relinquish it to the medical examiner who will be performing the autopsies on the victims when I attend them on September 18th. Inside a compartment in the van's dashboard, I located victim Casey Jones's wallet Inside her wallet, I located 3 driver's licenses, which belonged to her, her Social Security card, and various other cards inside the same compartment. I also located several prescription pill bottles, some of which belonged to Casey and one which belonged to suspect Jones. In the front passenger compartment of the van, I located a makeup bag which contained women's makeup. I also located a can of Glade air freshener. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze for a second, so I'm going to put on mute. Okay, sorry. Several items believed to be of evidentiary value were collected and transported back to the Marion County Sheriff's Office by evidence technicians Dewey's and King. Those items will be documented in their follow-up. Chief Deputy Simpson provided me with a copy of the search warrant, which was issued for the van, as well as one that was issued for the suspects. Apple iPhone, that search warrant was not executed. Chief Deputy Simpson released the suspect's cell phone to me. The phone will remain in my possession until I return to Marion County and submit it as evidence. Chief Deputy Jones also released the suspect's vehicle to me. With the assistance of Chief Deputy Simpson and his chief investigator, the suspect's vehicle was loaded onto the car hauler trailer, which I towed to Brantley County. I then towed the vehicle to the Pooler Police Station in Pooler, Georgia. I met with Pooler Police Lieutenant John Smith, who allowed me to drop the trailer with the suspect vehicle in their fence-secured maintenance yard. Lieutenant Smith informed me the yard was equipped with surveillance cameras. The yard is also the location Pooler police officers fuel their vehicles. Lieutenant Pooler advised me he had directed the Pooler police officers to conduct additional security checks of the yard while the suspect vehicle is there. Case remains pending active. On September 14th, I was directed by Lieutenant McQuagg to respond to a missing persons case involving suspicious circumstances. Lieutenant McQuagg advised that Sergeant Moore and Deputy King were both on scene and they could provide further about the facts of the case. I next made phone contact with Deputy King, who provided me a detailed synopsis of the facts in the case, along with the incident location. Upon my arrival, I met with Deputy King, Sergeant Moore, and Lieutenant McQuagg. I was shown the incident location, which was a single-wide mobile home situated on a small piece of property. The residence was being held as a possible crime scene due to the information obtained during the initial investigation conducted by Deputy King. The residence's front door faced south and had a small wooden porch with wooden steps attached. The residence was approximately 15 to 20 feet from the nearest neighbor to the south and approximately 20 to 30 feet from the nearest neighbor to the north. The mobile home extended east to west on the property, and the exterior appeared to be in order with the exception of the yard being overgrown. While standing near the east end of the mobile home, in the roadway driveway, a faint odor was detected, which I recognized through my 12 years of law enforcement experience as decomposition of human remains. I was shown through the window areas in the west bedroom on the floor where there appeared to be bloodstains on the floor. Based on the suspicious circumstances provided by the reportee Nikki Jones to Deputy King in conjunction with the observations made by Deputy King and Sergeant Moore during a consensual search of the mobile home, I asked Deputy King to issue a missing endangered bolo for Casey Jones and her 4 children in their van. After a brief time at the scene, Lieutenant McQuagg and I responded back to the Marion County Sheriff's Office to further research the family. Through electronic data searches, I was able to obtain numerous phone numbers for the family of Michael Jones. I attempted phone contact with several persons associated with Michael, but met with negative results in locating him or obtaining any further leads. A notable contact attempt that I made was with Sarah Jones, later identified as the ex-wife, mother of Michael Jones's children, at the phone number blah, 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 blah. I did not receive an answer, but I did leave a message for her to call me back. An address of 2018 Vine Street, Leesburg was identified through records I requested. A teletype be sent to the Leesburg Police Department to have it checked for the family. I later received a call back from Officer Jimenez, who advised he responded to the residence and the vehicle was not at the location. Officer Jimenez advised he made contact with the current residents, who advised they moved in approximately 3 months prior and do not know the missing family. Based on the suspicious circumstances surrounding the disappearance of the Jones family and the suspicious evidence observed inside the Jones residence by Deputy King and Sergeant Moore, it was determined to draft a search warrant for the residence. This concluded my investigation for the late afternoon of September 14th into the early morning of September 15th. I continued my investigation the following morning, which will be documented in another follow-up. At the time, this case remains pending active. Case remains active pending. I responded to the incident location as the evidence supervisor on call and met with forensic technician Holzer and forensic technician King regarding the incident. The scene, and King photographed and processed the scene while I provided logistical and supervisory support to them. I did not photograph any evidence, collect any property, or interview any individuals regarding this incident. On September 18th, I was requested to find out if trash that had been dumped at the Marion County landfill on September 4th was still there, or if it had been transferred to another location. I contacted George White, operations manager with Marion County Solid Waste, and he advised that trash from this day was taken to the Heart of Florida landfill. The Heart of Florida landfill is located at 453 County Road 489, Lake Panasoffkee, Florida. I updated Detective Bartlett with this information. Case remains pending active. On September 18th, Ryder made contact with Principal Tammy Langley of Fruitland Park Elementary and learned that Cameron Bowers had not been a student there. On the prior academic year, he was scheduled to return upon the beginning of this academic year but has not attended. Ryder was advised they did not have an admissions packet for the sibling, Preston Bowers, at this time. The information was provided to Detective Bartlett for the ongoing investigation. Case remains pending active. Okay, where did we go? The 4 items entered into evidence were collected on September 18th. Specifics about the collection will be entered under a later follow-up. The buccal swabs collected from defendant Michael Jones, buccal swabs from Richard Bowers, and the toothbrushes from Cameron and Preston Bowers were placed into evidence in the major crime slot locker. At this time, case will remain pending active. On 9/18/19, I obtained search warrants for cell site locations on 2 target numbers pertinent to this case. The phone numbers associated with the defendant, both warrants, and the victim. Both warrants were served to the Sprint Corporation via fax. I'm awaiting electronic data. At this time, I have no further information. On September 19th, while assigned to the Major Crimes Robbery Homicide Unit, I was asked to assist Detective Bartlett with follow-up with individuals in reference to this case. I made telephone contact with Eric Hunter, who allegedly had a package delivered to his residence when it was intended for the defendant in the case. Eric Hunter advised on August 22nd he received a package in the mail which had his address on the shipping label. Eric Hunter advised it was not his package, though. It was a larger package that Eric Hunter could see multiple DeWalt power tools inside. He was not sure what specific tools were inside. Eric Hunter advised the defendant's address was the exact same as his, except for the street being different. The defendant came over to Eric Hunter's residence, asking him if a package had been delivered incorrectly to the residence. Eric Hunter gave him the package he had received and offered to help him load it into the defendant's white van with a busted-out back window that he was driving. The defendant did not want help and carried the larger box on his own. Eric Hunter found this incident to be strange after hearing about this case on the news and wanted to report it to law enforcement. Eric Hunter had no further information at this time. I then responded to residents in Silver Springs, Florida, and made contact with April Smith. I conducted an audio recorded interview with her and her husband, Jason Smith, who was also present. April Smith advised on August 17th at approximately 12:54, she responded to that Summerfield, Florida mobile home and she bought 2 twin mattresses with bed frames from, yikes, the defendant. The defendant had posted them for sale on Facebook Marketplace, and April Smith and her husband agreed to buy them. April Smith was able to retrieve her GPS data in order to remember the exact date and time that she was at the defendant's residence. She showed me her cell phone, and on the screen she had pulled up from her Google location history, which had the above address, date, and time on it. Originally, the defendant was going to drop off the mattress, but then advised he had his kids with him and could not fit the mattress in the vehicle. At the same time, this is when April Smith and her husband drove to the incident location to pick the items up. When they arrived at the defendant's residence, he introduced himself as Michael and loaded the mattresses from inside his white van onto April Smith's trailer. The defendant was the only person April Smith saw at the location, and she confirmed she did not go inside the defendant's residence or vehicle. The defendant advised his children had outgrown the beds, and that was why he was selling them. April Smith found the encounter strange because the defendant did not want anyone to help him load the items. He quickly slung the mattresses and bed frames onto her trailer from the white van. April Smith and her husband noted that there was a funky, foul smell that appeared to be emitting from the mattresses. They later determined the smell was coming from the mattresses and thought it could be related to dead rats. She advised the smell was really bad when they first got them, and she had been spraying them down with bleach, water, and baking soda mixture. Oh my gosh, I just burned them again. Oh my gosh, to take the smell away. April Smith advised she bought the mattress and frames for $50 and that he gave her parts and hardware to the bed frames in a blue tote. April Smith advised when the defendant became arrested, she and her husband recognized the photograph of him as the same person they had bought the mattress from. April Smith showed me the items inside a residence, which were set up, each in a separate bedroom. Yikes. I took digital photographs of the items as well as the blue tote which she received the items in. There did not appear to be anything of evidentiary value on the mattresses, frames, or in the blue tote. The mattresses were white, clean, and did not have any large stains or abnormalities on them. April Smith had no further information in regards to this case. I provided her my business cards and advised her to contact me in the future for any further assistance. The photographs were uploaded to evidence.com. Okay, let's see. The audio was... Now, on September 18th at approximately 1200 hours, I made contact with Michael Jones at the Criminal Investigation Department Interrogation Room Number 1. Michael Jones was already in restraints and an orange jumpsuit. I walked Michael Jones out of the building and to my vehicle. I then transported Michael Jones to the Marion County Jail where he was booked for his active warrant in reference to this case. During my interaction with Michael Jones, I had no discussion with him about this case or any relevant facts. On September 18th at approximately 12:20, digital forensics technician Jesse Newbanks was contacted by Detective Burleson, who requested I assist in conducting a phone extraction on a cell phone identified as belonging to Mr. Richard Bowers. Referencing this case, Detective Burleson advised he obtained a signed consent to search form signed by the device owner. Detective Burleson also advised that the search was to extract messages from the GoDaddy SmartLine app. The device is an iPhone XS Max model A1921 with serial number blah blah blah. Okay, running iOS blah blah blah. The phone number associated with the device is blah blah blah. I completed a file system extraction using the Cellbrite Universal Forensics Extraction Device for PC version blah 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 to extract the specific application databases. I also photographed the device and messages as requested by Detective Burleson. Once the extraction was complete, the device was provided to Detective Bartlett for release to the owner. I examined the extraction data parsed from Cellbrite used physical analyzer and found that it was unable to parse messages from the specified GoDaddy SmartLine application. I then located the application files on the device and identified SmartLine.realm as the application database for SmartLine, containing messages, communications, and history. I manually parsed the message content specified as the target communication from the database. I then exported a UFED report with this content and photographs and provided it to Detective Bartlett. This concludes my involvement in this case. Case remains closed by arrest. On September 17th, 2019, I assisted with the execution of the search warrant issued for the defendant's van. I detailed the execution of the search warrant in Supplement 13. After reviewing by Supplement, I noticed I left out some information. When I arrived at the Brantley County Sheriff's Office, there was a black plastic garbage bag on the ground next to the defendant's van. Chief Deputy Simpson informed me he and one of his deputies had returned to the location where the defendant wrecked his van and located several articles of men's clothing believed to have belonged to the defendant just off the highway. The clothing was photographed and collected into evidence by Technician King. On September 18th, I responded to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation's crime lab in Pooler, Georgia, and attended the autopsies of the 5 victims. Dr. Edmund Donahue performed the autopsies on victims Casey Jones and Cameron Bowers. Dr. Joni Skipper performed the autopsies on victims Preston Bowers, Merkelly Jones, and Ayanna Jones. Victim Cameron Bowers' remains were inside of a red suitcase, which had been inside of a gray plastic tote. Victim Cameron did have a broken mandible, but I do not believe there was any additional trauma noted. There was a towel stuffed into victim Cameron's mouth. Victim Preston Bowers' remains were inside a plastic tote. When the lid was removed from the tote, I observed a zip tie was tightened around his neck. Victim Merkelly and Ayanna Jones' remains were both inside a single small plastic tote. Inside the tote with the 2 girls was a baby bottle with Ayanna's name on it and a small pink pair of girls' sandals. Victim Casey Jones had originally been located inside of a plastic tote in the defendant's vehicle. She had been removed from the tote at the accident scene and transported to the medical examiner's office in a body bag. An area rug and a black and white shower curtain were around victim Casey. The front of Casey Jones' skull face were crushed, as if she had been struck with a blunt object. I did not observe any other trauma to her body. I was informed by GBI agent Will Ivy that all of the plastic totes the victims had been located in had plastic sheeting wrapped around the top of them and were secured with duct tape. I was not allowed to take notes during the autopsies, and I do not recall every detail at this time. The autopsy photos will be placed onto a disc and mailed to me. The photographs will detail the state each victim was discovered in and the items located with them. When the final autopsy reports are completed, those will be sent to me as well, along with the cause and manner of the death report. There may have been additional trauma to the victims which I was not made aware of, and therefore has not been included in this report. The final autopsy reports should be referred to for the complete and accurate details of each victim's injuries. At the conclusion of the autopsies, I collected numerous items of evidence and returned them to the Marion County Sheriff's Office. From Casey Jones, a black-white shower curtain, an area rug, blue denim shorts, a tank top, a towel, red bra, panties, paper towel, white trash bag with child's panties, black elastic band, and a rubber band. From victim Cameron Bowers, a red t-shirt, shorts, blue boxer briefs, a gray plastic tote with lid, plastic sheeting with duct tape, a red suitcase, a black garbage bag, a dog leash located in the suitcase, and a portion of plastic material. From victim Preston Bowers, a pink plastic tote with a lid, a plastic sheeting with duct tape, 3 black plastic garbage bags, a multicolored blanket, white plastic garbage bag, small white ball believed to be a mothball, white blue short sleeve shirt, blue denim shorts, a gray metal cap, and a ligature, a zip tie. From victim Raquel and Ayanna Jones, a blue plastic tote with lid, plastic sheeting with duct tape, blue-gray plastic garbage bag, multiple absorbent pads, black plastic bag, baby bottle with Ayanna Jones, pink shoes, tank top, disposable diaper, multicolored dress, disposable diaper. After leaving the GBI crime lab, I returned to the Pooler Police Department and I picked up the defendant's vehicle. I towed the vehicle from Pooler, Georgia to C&M Towing in Ocala, Florida. I completed a vehicle impoundment and inventory record and released the vehicle to C&M, advising them the vehicle was evidence and not to be released. I then returned to the Marion County Sheriff's Office and met with evidence technician Jay Holzer. Technician Holzer and I placed several items of evidence into the drying cabinets. The items which would not fit in the drying cabinets were secured in evidence warehouse, with the exception of the defendant's cell phone, the ligature zip tie, and the blood spot cards from each victim. These items are currently secured in technician Holzer's locker until they can be entered into evidence. I will upload copies of the Brantley County search warrants as well as the Brantley County property release forms. Okay, blah, blah, blah. On September 14th, approximately 2300 hours, while working as the CID on-call supervisor, I was notified of a possible missing family from their address there. I was told that Deputy King responded to the listed address and that he could smell the odor of decomposition inside. The residence had been cleaned out and there was evidence of a clean-out attempt. Deputy King had apparently spoken to the reporting person, Nikki Jones, who told him she had not seen her daughter or her 4 grandchildren in 4 to 6 weeks. A major crimes response was requested, and I contacted Detective Bradley Bartlett and asked him to respond to the location. I responded as well, arriving at the location at approximately 23:25, and Detective Bartlett arrived soon after me. Upon my arrival, I observed Deputy King, Sergeant Micah Moore, and Lieutenant Todd Speicher to be in front of the residence. Deputy King advised he had been on the phone with the owner of the residence, who advised he had evicted the family several weeks prior and recently had a maintenance man come in and clean the residence. Deputy King advised he had been given consent to enter the family residence, and they entered the home when... Hold on a sec. Hang on. They entered the home when law enforcement began asking questions to the landlord. He withdrew consent and they exited the residence. While inside, a heavy decomposition odor was present, as well as cleaning supplies. Detective Bartlett asked the family to be entered into the system as missing endangered, which was later completed. Detective Bartlett and I left the scene and traveled to our office to do research into any possible family or friends who may have knowledge of the family's whereabouts. At this point in the investigation, the only face-to-face contact anyone in the family had with the missing members the last several weeks was Michael Jones, the husband of the missing person, Casey Jones, and the father of the 2 missing girls. We were unable to obtain much information on family at that time, and Detective Bartlett and I decided that it would be best to obtain a search warrant for the home. Detective Bartlett was assigned the task of completing the search warrant. On late Sunday morning, September 15th, Detective Bartlett notified me that he located the ex-wife of Michael Jones, Sarah Jones. She told him via telephone that she saw Casey Jones and the children at McDonald's in Palatka. Okay, she's a liar. We know she's a liar now. On Friday, September 13th, that they were alive and well. Liar. With that information, I contacted Detective Ian Simpson and asked him to respond to that McDonald's and view video surveillance to attempt to verify Sarah's claim. I was later notified that Detective Simpson could not locate any evidence of the Friday the 13th meeting in Palatka on video. I was additionally advised that neither Detective Bartlett nor Simpson could re-establish contact with Sarah. Great. At that point, I assigned Detective Simpson the task of going to Sarah's residence in Jacksonville, Florida, and making contact with her in person. Detective Simpson advised he was eventually able to make contact with her, and she ultimately admitted to lying, to both him and Detective Bartlett. She advised when she made contact with the detectives that Michael Jones was standing next to her, writing what to say to detectives on a piece of paper. For more detailed information, referred to each detective's individual follow-ups and reports. Okay. At approximately 18:15 hours, I was notified that the search warrant had been completed. Detective Bartlett and I responded to the residence. Upon my arrival, the search warrant had already been served and the search was underway. Detective Bartlett asked for my assistance in removing an exterior metal panel covering the underside of the single-wide manufactured home. The panel was on the east side of the home, and I removed it with a cordless drill. Detective Bartlett advised it appeared that there had been a body stored on the northeast corner of the residence inside, and he wanted to check under the home for any type of decomposition liquid from the body that may have seeped through the flooring under the home. Finding none, I replaced the panel. Detective Bartlett and I were planning the next course of action when we were contacted by Sergeant M. Moore, who wanted to show us a call for service on his screen in his vehicle. The CFS read that a deputy from Brantley County, Georgia, was out with his missing family's van, and Michael Jones, who told him he killed his wife, and she was in the van. Detective Bartlett and I immediately left the scene with Sergeant Moore and the field evidence officers and began a trip to Brantley County. I contacted Captain Kevin Rowe and asked him to respond to 86 Terrace Avenue to finish supervising the collection of evidence on the search warrant. Detective Bartlett and I left the Marion County Sheriff's Office operation at approximately 2,000 hours and began to travel to Georgia using my agency-issued patrol vehicle. I contacted Sergeant Mongeluzo and asked him to respond to the scene and continued supervising the investigation in Marion County. At approximately 20-40 hours, I received a phone call from Chief Deputy John Simpson of the Brantley County Sheriff's Office, who was making contact to inform us that he had Michael Jones in custody. He stated that his deputy responded to a traffic crash just inside his county on Highway 301. He stated that when the deputy arrived on the scene, he, Michael Jones, told the deputy that he had killed his wife and that she was in the van that had crashed into a culvert. We received several phone calls from Chief Simpson while en route to Georgia, updating us on the case as we drove. Chief Simpson reported to us that the Georgia Bureau of Investigations was now leading the investigation in Georgia and that Special Agent Will Ivey was conducting a videotaped interview with him. Along the way, we were called and told that the suspect had confessed to killing his wife and storing her body at the residence. and then in the van for several weeks. Deputy Chief Simpson relayed to us that the suspect told that he left the children back in Florida with his mother-in-law, Nikki Jones, the initial reporting party. We knew this to be a lie. However, to verify, Detective Bartlett made phone contact with Nikki, who reiterated that she had not seen any of the children for weeks. This was relayed back to Deputy Chief Simpson, who I assume told Agent Ivy. A few minutes later, Chief Deputy Simpson called back and advised me that the now defendant Michael Jones had confessed to killing all 4 of the missing children and had hidden their bodies in the woods not far from where he crashed the van. Deputy Chief Simpson also advised the defendant now agreed to be transported to the area where he dumped the bodies and point them out to the deputies. Detective Bartlett and I arrived at the crash scene at approximately 2200 hours, at which point we made contact with law enforcement. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure you guys are okay. You want me to keep going with this? Yes? I'm looking at the chat now. Sure. Okay. Janelle is saying no. Okay. I think we better finish it while we're here. Okay. So, okay, we're at the crash scene at approximately 2200 hours, at which point we made contact with law enforcement with the Brantley County Sheriff's Office. Also present was Georgia Bureau of Investigation Special Agent Jamie Carnes, who appeared to be taking photographs of the scene. There was a tow truck there, as well as other law enforcement directing traffic. The tow truck driver was attempting to pull the van out of a ditch. It appeared as though it had veered off of the road and crashed into a concrete culvert and became disabled. There was a strong odor of decomposition coming from the van. I was told that the Brantley County Sheriff's Office was having the van towed and secured as evidence in their evidence yard, and it would be secure. Deputy Chief Simpson arrived on the scene and advised one of his deputies had Michael Jones in the back of his patrol vehicle, and he, Michael, was directing him on where to go to find the bodies of the 4 children. Detective Bartlett and I then followed the deputy's vehicle along with the sheriff of Brantley County and several other patrol vehicles south on Highway 301 from the crash site to locate the wooded area where the children were placed. After several passes back and forth, we came to a rural dirt road in an area of planted pine trees where the caravan turned east into the pine forest area. We continued east a few hundred yards to a crossroads, and the vehicle carrying the defendant turned back south. Detective Bartlett and I exited our vehicle, and we were told that we were now in Charlton County. At that point, we met with the case agent, GBI Special Agent Ivy. Special Agent Ivy told us that the defendant told him he had placed the bodies of the 4 children into plastic storage totes. He told them that the totes were hidden near the area we had just parked and that they were covered with cut palm fronds. All of the law enforcement present began to fan out to search the area for the totes. It was clear that they were in the area from the smell of the decomposition that was all around us in the air. The 3 totes were eventually located in the general area separated by some distance. GBI agents then coordinated with local law enforcement to process the scene and recover the bodies. Please see each agency's report for documentation on the process and their involvement. At that point, Detective Bartlett and I told the defendant would now be transported back to Brantley County Sheriff's Office, and we requested to conduct our own interview with him. Detective Bartlett and I responded back to that location and conducted a videotaped interview with him in the Brantley County Sheriff's Office interview room. At approximately 56 hours on September 16th, 2019, Detective Bartlett read Miranda warnings to Michael Jones with his agency-issued Miranda card. The defendant advised he understood his rights and agreed to answer questions. Okay, so he then proceeded to confess to the killing of his wife and 4 children. The following summary of the interview is not meant to be an exact transcript. Please refer to the videotaped interview and Detective Bartlett's supplemental reports for more information during the interview. He advised that on July 10th, 2019, he and his wife, Casey Jones, were in a verbal altercation, and during that altercation, she grabbed a bat, later described as a metal children's baseball bat, and was pushing him with it. The defendant described taking the bat away from her and hitting her repeatedly in the head, killing her. He then describes putting her body in a plastic tote and storing it in the closet. He advised that he attempted to clean everything up as best he could. He stated that there was blood all over the walls. He stated that all 4 children were in the home at the time. Cameron Bowers, 9, his stepson. Preston Bowers, 5, his stepson. Marketh Jones, 2, and Ayanna Jones, 1. The defendant then stated that some time before school was about to start, he went into his stepson's room and pulled Cameron off the bed and onto the floor, and he began strangling him with his hands around the child's neck. He stated that he put his knee into the chest of the child as well to keep him from being able to breathe. He advised when he went into the room his intention was to kill him. He stated everything was on him. While he was killing Cameron, Preston was sleeping in the bed right next door. He then placed Cameron in a suitcase. The next night, he stated he decided he was going to kill Preston. He stated his hands were sore and hurt from the struggle with strangling Cameron, and it popped into his head that he had zip ties in the house. He stated he grabbed a zip tie and went into the room and grabbed Preston off the bed and put the zip tie around his neck and pulled it tight, and then he carried the boy into the bathroom where he already had the water running in the tub and proceeded to drown the boy in the running water. He did not have a stopper for the drain, so he shoved a rag into the drain to keep some of the water contained in the tub to help with the drowning. Once Preston died, he placed him in a plastic garbage bag and left him in the bathroom initially. He used kitty litter at some point to help soak up the body fluids that came from the decaying bodies that he kept in the residence for several weeks. He advised during this time he had Casey's phone, and he kept up the appearances that she was alive by pretending to be her on text messages to friends and relatives, and he also kept making posts on Facebook pretending to be her. Continuing with the interview, he then stated, then came the eviction notice. He advised that someone came out and served an eviction notice on him, stating he had 5 days to move out of the incident location. Okay. He stated he stayed there until the 5th day and then loaded up the girls and drove to the city hall in Bellevue, Florida. He described looking over at the police department nearby, trying to get up the nerve to go turn himself in, or hoping someone would arrest him at some point. He decided to break Casey's phone, which he still had in his possession, and he threw it into a dumpster across the street from Bellevue City Hall. He stated he drove around for a while and then he went home and decided to kill the girls. He advised he filled the bathtub and picked up Marketh, carried her into the bathroom, and held her under the water until she was dead. He then repeated the process for Ayanna. He placed both girls into a plastic tote bin together. All 5 murders occurred at the mobile home. He attempted to get more time from the landlord, but was told no. Sometime around Labor Day weekend, he put all of the bodies in the van and drove to Jacksonville to stay with his ex-wife, Sarah. He stated she had never been through a hurricane before, and she asked him to stay with her. He advised the bodies had been stored in the van since September 1st. He went to stay with Sarah, and when he discovered that law enforcement was looking for him, he left Jacksonville heading north. He stated as he was passing through Charlton County, he kept seeing that turnoffs into the planted tree forests on the sides of the road. he stated that he pulled off one of those roads to urinate and decided that he would place the bodies there in the woods. Once he removed all of the children's bodies, which were still in the plastic totes, he left the wooded area and headed north on Highway 301, keeping Casey in the van with him. He stated as he was traveling, he looked down at his GPS and ran off the road, striking the concrete culvert with his van, disabling it. He stated he then called 911 and waited for law enforcement to arrive. Upon the arrival of Brantley County Sheriff's Office, he surrendered to them, telling the responding deputy that he killed his wife and her body was in the car. When asked why he did not hide her body too, he said he could not bring himself to do it. When asked about the use of drugs or alcohol during the murders, he denied using them. He advised he had a clear head. He stated he's prescribed 2 medications, one for high blood pressure and one for depression, Wellbutrin. During the interview, he stated that he placed the 2 girls in one plastic tote together. He stated the 2 boys were in separate totes, but Cameron was inside a suitcase inside of the tote. He stated that the tote with Preston in it should contain the zip tie that was placed around his neck. He never removed the zip tie from the body. When asked about the murder weapon for Casey's murder, he stated while cleaning up, he placed the bat inside plastic bags and disposed of them at a lawyer's office dumpster on Highway 441 near County Route 42 in Marion County. The interview was concluded, and I did not speak with Michael Jones again. Detective Bartlett did re-enter the room to ask a few more questions, but I stayed outside, coordinating the next step with GBI and Brantley County Sheriff's Office. I was told that Deputy Simpson drafted an arrest warrant for the defendant, Michael Jones, back in Marion County for second-degree murder and had it entered into the FCIC NCIC. Brantley County deputies advised they would complete a fugitive hold for the defendant. Additional charges for the defendant are pending further investigation. Detective Bartlett and I then responded to Waycross, Georgia, to spend the rest of the night at a hotel. The next morning, we went back to Brantley County Sheriff's Office to coordinate evidence collection and the attendance of the autopsies. We left the Brantley County Sheriff's Office in the early afternoon and responded back to Marion County. This concludes my normal involvement in this case up to this point, with the exception of my normal supervision duties within the Major Crimes Unit. Case remains closed by arrest. On September 15th, at approximately 33 hours, I made phone contact with the reportee Nikki Jones and completed a brief phone interview. Nikki Jones provided me with a synopsis of the facts of the case, which was consistent with the information relayed to me by Deputy King while on scene. I did receive the Facebook name for Casey Jones, which is Princess Casey, and the Facebook name for Michael Jones, which was his name, Michael Jones. I was able to briefly review Casey Jones' Facebook from the information she had posted publicly and obtained no new leads. I received the 4 missing children's names and dates of birth from Nikki Jones. They don't say about her YouTube. They didn't find her YouTube? They interviewed with Nikki Jones, was audio recorded and later uploaded to evidence.com. I provided Nikki Jones with contact information and the agency case number and advised her to contact me if contact was made with the family. At 55 hours, I attempted to make phone contact with Michael Jones at the phone number blah, 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 but the phone immediately went to error message saying the caller was unavailable, leading me to believe the phone service was disconnected or the phone was powered off. Later in the morning on September 15th, I made contact with Assistant State Attorney Rich Buxman, and I provided him with the suspicious facts surrounding the disappearance of the Jones family. At the conclusion of the conversation, it was determined that a search warrant should be drafted for the residence previously rented by their Jones family. While responding to Marion County Sheriff's Office to draft the search warrant at approximately 10:16 on September 15th, I began calling phone numbers associated to belonging to a female by the name of Sarah Jones. The phone number called was blah, blah, blah. I was able to conduct an audio-recorded phone interview with Sarah Jones, who advised me she and Michael Jones have children in common. Sarah Jones advised she last saw both Michael and Casey Jones on Friday, September 13th, around 1730 to 1800 hours at a McDonald's on Reed Street in Palatka, Florida. Sarah Jones advised she met with Michael Jones for a child visit. Sarah Jones was alluding to the fact that she was in direct contact with both Casey and Michael Jones while at the McDonald's, but when specifically questioned, she stated that Casey Jones stayed in the van, but she did, in fact, physically see her. That could be very true, that part, sadly. Sarah Jones provided me with the phone number of blah, blah, blah for Michael Jones and the phone number blah, blah, blah for Casey Jones. Sarah Jones advised both Michael and Casey Jones were both in good health. Sarah advised she did not see Michael and Casey's other children. I advised Sarah Jones that we were looking for the family and asked her if there was any other way to locate them. She could not provide any other contact information. I concluded my phone interview and asked Sarah Jones if I could call her back with any further questions, and she confirmed I could. Sarah Jones provided the answers to the questions without hesitation. The information obtained from Sarah Jones shortened the timeline to the last time Casey Jones was seen to only a few days rather than the week time frame provided by the family of Casey Jones. I relayed the information I obtained from Sarah Jones to the Lieutenant McQuaig, and I was reminded to have Detective Simpson respond to the McDonald's located at blah, 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 and attempts to locate video surveillance. Okay, I began drafting the search warrant for the residence while simultaneously following up with leads being developed from social media and media releases made by the family, by the Public Information Office, and by the Marion County Sheriff's Office. On September 15th, I received a tip while was called in advising Casey Jones and the children were also seen on September 13th in the Lake County area, and the tipster arrived that the family was staying at an unknown campground in the van to be separated from the male half. The lead was later determined to be unfounded and not further investigated. While drafting the search warrant, I was in direct contact with Detective Simpson, who responded to the McDonald's in Palatka, described by Sarah Jones. Detective Simpson advised he reviewed the video footage in depth and was unable to locate the van belonging to the family. I then began attempting to contact Sarah Jones, but met with negative results. At 14:17 on September 15th, I received a voicemail message from Sarah Jones, who altered her initial statement provided to me earlier in the morning. She stated that she actually never saw Casey Jones on Friday, September 13th, 2019, but still remained the fact she met with Michael Jones. This voicemail was later uploaded to evidence.com. I was able to speak briefly with Sarah after making numerous... No, is this the same thing? No. I was able to speak briefly with Sarah after making numerous attempts. She then advised me she had not actually seen Casey in the van as initially indicated. Sarah Jones confirmed that she was in contact with Michael Jones at the McDonald's as initially described. This alteration in her recollection of just 2 days prior arose my suspicion, you think? I advised Sarah Jones that a detective was at the McDonald's and would be calling her for further details about her interaction at the McDonald's. A short time later, I learned from Detective Simpson that Sarah Jones recanted her statement completely about being at the McDonald's on Friday the 13th. It was determined Detective Simpson will respond to the address provided by Sarah Jones to complete further follow-up. On September 15th at approximately 14:17, I made phone contact with Michael Jones's mother, Connie LeClaire, and conducted a brief audio recorded phone interview. Mrs. LeClaire advised that she had knowledge of the missing persons report and that she learned from Sarah Jones that she had last saw Michael and Casey on Friday, September 13th. I learned from LeClaire that she had a text conversation with Michael Jones on Friday, September 13th, and that he advised both he and Casey were in good health and that they both needed new phones. According to a text conversation Connie LeClaire had with Michael Jones, he advised her that the family were going to put some of their belongings into storage before the hurricane, and they were going to go to Kentucky to visit with Casey Jones' family. Connie advised she had a conversation with Casey on August 27th, and to her knowledge, Michael Jones was hospitalized. Connie expressed that she was getting concerned about the well-being of the family and stated that she reached out to Michael Jones by text and phone call, but no contact was made. This concluded my phone interview with Connie LeClaire, and a copy was later concluded to evidence. At 15:07 hours while on the phone with Connie LeClaire, I received a voicemail message from the phone number 802-490-9803. You're telling me, Diane. The caller was Michael Jones, stating he received word that law enforcement was looking for him, and the family Michael Jones advised he was not in town, Marion County, and he would be in town later the same day or early on the following morning. Michael Jones advised he could be available on September 16th at around 9 a.m. I immediately attempted to call the number back but received no answer. I called the number numerous times but never made phone contact with Michael Jones. At approximately 15:33, the search warrant for the residence was returned, signed by the Honorable Judge Rodgers. I contacted forensics evidence technician King, who later responded to the residence and began processing. While responding to the scene to begin processing, I made phone contact with the property owner, Joseph Petrolino, who resides outside of Marion County. I notified Petrolino that a search warrant had been obtained, and I also requested the contact information for the two workers he had cleaned the residence, which was provided the phone numbers for Matt and Patrick. This conversation was brief and it was not recorded. I next made phone contact with Matthew Quinn, who provided me with a brief synopsis of his involvement in the cleaning of the residence. Based on Quinn's involvement, I asked him to return to the residence for further interview. I arrived back at the residence, which security was being provided by deputies. Forensic technician King arrived and the execution of the search warrant began. After the exterior of the residence was photographed, we entered the residence through the front door. Deputy King received the combination to the lockbox from the property owner the previous evening. Immediately upon opening the door, I was able to smell the odor of decomposition. I began to look over the scene. I noted it was cleaned out of any personal property from the previous tenant. In the northeast corner of the east room, I observed the floor to be shinier than the other flooring in the same corner. I observed what I recognized as damage caused by decomposition fluids being on a floor. This room had a stronger odor than the other rooms in the house. In the living room near the front door was a broom, a dustpan, mop, and a bucket with bleach and a room deodorizer bottle in the master bedroom, west bedroom. I noticed areas on the floor that appeared to be blood. While the residence was being photographed and the areas in the east and west bedroom were being processed by forensics technicians, King and I met with Matthew Quinn. Matthew Quinn arrived on the scene, and during an audio recorded interview which took place 1728, on September 15th with Quinn, I learned he first came to the residence on Tuesday, September 3rd at 9 a.m. Quinn stated he and Patrick were supposed to meet to begin cleaning out the property. However, Patrick did not show up. Quinn made contact with the owner, Joseph Petrolino, who advised him Patrick was not coming in that day, and directed him to make entry into the home with a screwdriver by prying the lock with a screwdriver. As instructed by the homeowner, Quinn advised there was some trash outside of the residence near the wooden steps. Upon entry into the home, Quinn noticed the foul odors emitting from the east bedroom. Quinn advised the odors emitting from the east bedroom were not normal trash, food, or animal odors, feces odors. Quinn stated he and Patrick later joked about the odor being a dead body. Quinn advised he took photographs of the inside of the home to document the residence, how he discovered it. Quinn forwarded me these images, which I later uploaded to evidence.com. Quinn stated he worked on cleaning up the west bedroom because the odor was strong in the east bedroom. Quinn advised the west bedroom had woman and infant's clothing. Quinn stated that it appeared as if the male half of the residence had moved out. Quinn advised he observed family photos with a male subject in them, but there was no property consistent with an adult male living there. Quinn advised the northeast corner of the east bedroom where the odor was emitting from. Quinn stated there was kitty litter on the floor in the corner. Quinn advised that on September 3rd he did not take anything to the dump for disposal. The following day, September 4th, Quinn arrived at the location and Patrick was already there. Quinn advised Patrick already loaded the trash from the outside of the residence. The two then began cleaning up the residence and ultimately took 2 trailer loads of trash to the Marion County landfill. Quinn advised that there was nothing apparent that he identified as a crime scene or suspicious nature. Quinn advised the east bedroom where the odor was emitting had a greasy spot on the floor where he swept up the litter. Quinn advised Quinn advised during the cleanup act he did not observe anything consistent with there being a cat living at the residence. Quinn did state he removed a cot and a pop-up tent, which he took home. Oh boy. Both of these items were in the west bedroom. Quinn advised he would relinquish those items to law enforcement, which he later did. Deputy Tortora collected the items and placed them into evidence. This concluded my interview with Quinn. A copy of this audio recorded interview was uploaded to evidence.com. I then re-entered the residence and discussed the new information with forensic technician King. I learned that forensics technician King discovered suspected blood in the air vent in the west bedroom. We began processing the northeast corner of the east bedroom using Blue Star solution. There was an immediate illumination of blue in the northeast corner of the floor and wall. On September 15th at approximately 19:30 hours, the Marion County Sheriff's Office received a call for service advising Michael Jones was involved in a traffic crash in Brantley County, Georgia, and made admissions that he killed his wife. Lieutenant McQuaig was on scene at the residence. He and I immediately left the residence to respond to Brantley County. The investigation that took place from that point will be documented in a later follow-up, and the case will remain closed by arrest. A 9/17 crime scene technician Jamila King and DNA technician Ashley Deweese followed Detective Levi to Georgia, where they processed the defendant's vehicle that was recovered in the case. King and Deweese returned to Ocala that night. See their supplements for details. Detective Levy attended the autopsies of the recovered bodies. He took custody of a number of items from the medical examiner's office, and he brought them into the defendant's vehicle to Ocala. Detective Levy took the vehicle to C&M Towing in Ocala. It did not come to evidence. The items from the medical examiner's office were turned over to the crime scene technician Jordan Holzer at the Central Evidence Office. The items were storage containers and other items that were recovered when the bodies were recovered, along with 3 body bags. Practically everything was saturated with fluid from decomposed bodies and emitted an extremely foul odor. Detective Levy assisted Holzer in placing some items in drying cabinets in the main evidence office. Not all the items would fit, so I responded from home to open up an evidence large warehouse where the remaining items were deposited. After several days, it became apparent that due to the decomposition fluid, the items would not completely dry. I decided that the best way to preserve the items and minimize the extreme odors they were emitting was to store them in the freezer in plastic bags or containers. I assisted crime scene technicians Jordan Holzer and Catherine Miller in packaging the items to be submitted to the property room. On September 25th, I completed a laboratory request to have the buccal swabs collected from Richard Bowers, Nikki Jones, and defendant Michael Jones, along with the blood spot cards I collected after the autopsies, sent to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement Laboratory for analysis in order to positively identify the victims in this case. After conferring with the senior forensics DNA technician, C. Decker, laboratory personnel, and personnel at the Georgia Bureau of Investigation Crime Lab, it was decided the best route to take in order to have the victims identified would be to send the buccal swabs collected by the Marion County Sheriff's Office sent to the GBI Crime Lab and allow them to complete the identification. It is likely the sample obtained on the blood spot cards from the victims is too degraded due to the victim's state of decomposition. For analysis and identification, it may be necessary to use DNA samples taken from the victim's bones in order to complete the identifications. The victim's remains are still located at the GBI Crime Lab, and therefore the analysis and identification can be performed more expeditiously by GBI Crime Lab personnel. Technician Decker advised he would arrange to have the buccal swab sent to the GBI via FedEx as soon as possible. During my search of the defendant's vehicle on September 17th, I located a handwritten note under the front passenger seat. The note had Detective B. Bartlett's name on it, along with his phone number. The note also saw Casey on Friday when I dropped off the kids written on it. There were other phone numbers and names written on the note. The note was collected and submitted into evidence by crime scene technician King. Case status closed by arrest. See how much else we have. Okay, I have to take like a little break right here. We might have to continue this tomorrow or something. I need just like a break here for a second. Okay. Whew. Hey there, Diana. What's wrong with Danielle? Thanks, Lisa. Well, I have something here. Hey, Carol Lucy. Hey, Midguest Guy. Hey, Dojane. Get a drink, a little snack. That's a lot. Thanks, Sam. Hi, Tori. Hey, Julie. Your face when you came back said it all. Are you kidding, Linda? Yeah, thanks, Carol. Let's see. Hey, Karen McCann, how are you? Maybe horse tomorrow. I read about 50 pages. I don't even know what I read in Barry. I try not to look at it. I don't want to look ahead. I don't want to see how much. It's like when I'm, If I work out at the treadmill or something on a gym and you set it for a certain amount of time, I put a towel over. I don't want to see what I have left. The elliptical, I mean. I don't want to see it. I just want to do it. If I see it, then it drives me crazy. You're welcome, Melissa Ann. Hi, Kristen. Hey, you go, girl. Yeah, Linda, it's pretty bad, right? Wow. And all that, and why did he even he just gave up like that. It's not like he thought he was going somewhere. He just gave up like that, right? And so what was oh boy. And the ex-wife, we know she's a liar now. That was a whole lot of reading, yeah. Hi, Maui Chickadee. So, I don't know. They're both disgusting. Crashes his car and gives himself up, right? What was the point? Please talk about the ex-wife. I think she knew. Oh, I think so too, absolutely. Why did they retrieve the baseball bat from her too? Get out the magic wand. Be gone, troll. You have no power here. The ex-wife's part? Well, she lied, first of all. Okay? She was so nervous when they interviewed her, Carolyn. Get out the huge battle. Karen, not too good this morning. Sent a text. What happened? To my ex-husband, my mistake. Oh no. Oh no. What kind of text, Karen? What kind of text? Oh, thanks, Linda. We love you too. What kind of text? Did she tell us? Oh, you want to see the eyes? They're right here. Yeah, when she said she saw her, but she stayed in the van. Right, she saw hers, right, and she lied. She was standing right. She was next to her, telling her, because in the interview she said she told him later. Yeah, and what about that the phone call she got at 4 a.m. and stuff? Where is I want to hear what Karen Duffy sent to her ex-husband. They need some eyelashes? Okay, I'll work on that. I'll get some eyelashes on them. Some eyeliner too, maybe on the bottom. Sharpie eyeliner. Yeah, well, it looks like, I don't know, he might have been going there. She lied a lot then because she said all the kids were at the house. She lied many times to many different people. So, she said that. She said the children were there. She said the children were swimming, lots of stuff. Eyebrows too. Okay. She's a liar. It says July 10th. She trips herself up. Sharpie, angry eyebrows. Perjury. Get some of those huge fake eyelashes. She probably realized to shut up. What did Karen Duffy text to her ex-husband? If she's lying, she knew something. Yeah, yeah. Hi, Mommy. 100K in extra hot tonight. What? She didn't say. She didn't say? She didn't tell us what she texted her ex-husband? That's not fair. That's not fair. Look up a few posts for Karen D. Why, did she text it? She told us those people are lying? Oh, please, Carolyn. The sweet pouring out of me. Oh, the sweat pouring out of me. It's to my partner of 5 years. Now I meant to... Oh my gosh, you mean like a lovey-dovey one? And I sent it to my ex. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Okay. I was going to get him. Okay. I make a show of myself with a few drinks, going on Facebook, playing songs of loneliness to my husband who passed away, wake up in the morning in a panic. What did I write? Oh no, really, Carol? I need some steel-toe boots to kick these trolls. It's only taken you about 6 months to do what, Rochelle? Oh, thank you, Wildlife. Wildlife, what I have to send your thing out. You sent me that email. Do you really not want the journal or what? Because do you not want it? Let me know, because I want to send it to you. You want me to send you something else? What can I send you? Tell me what else I can send you. You're not a writer? Nobody in your family writes or will use it or something? A kitchen chair. Postage on that would be crazy. You know, because Wildlife said something to me like, well, it's my journal, but I mean, here's my address, but I don't know. If somebody else wants the journal, let them have it or something. And I'm like, well, I don't know, because you don't want the journal, or you just, I don't know. Will you not use the journal? The Sherlock Holmes journal? Want me to send you something else? You want me to send you like a decal or something? I can make you a decal, and you want to give the journal up to someone else? You're not much on writing. Well, let me know what you want to do. If you want me to send you something else, I could maybe make you like a Rambler decal or something. And then you would pick the person, I'll let you pick the person that you want the journal to go to. Do I use a planner? I actually do have a planner. I'm so bad about it. My daughter uses a Passion planner. And I buy very nice planners. The one I have last year, I didn't write in at all. And now I have a new one. And it's supposed to start, well, it actually started, it's 2020, but it starts in the July of 2019. And nothing. A passion planner is like one of the, it's a very famous plan. You should see my daughter. She like color codes everything. Like she was like 5 hours with it when it came. I'm like, what are you putting in there? But she brings it everywhere. So wildlife, let me know what you want to do. Because I have your journal here. You have a passion planner, but like the get to workbook better. Do I use? No, I don't use I use an old-fashioned notebook when I'm doing that. When I'm doing anything for YouTube, really, but I really don't. I'm not a big planner. I'm a more fly by the seat of your pants kind of person. You want an Arizona one? So wildlife, let me know what you want to do. All right. The trolls are ridiculous, aren't they? They're probably mad about that post. And I didn't put that post up really. I just thought it was really funny, okay? And it wasn't because I was bothered. I'm not bothered by them. They're ignorant. But they amuse, like it's like, how stupid are you? So, but I wasn't upset by it. I thought the meme was really cute and funny and exactly what it is, that you have no power here, so what the heck are you wasting your time here? We're just going to get rid of you right away and everybody's going to laugh at you. We're all going to laugh at you. So, you're not bothering me. We're all laughing at you. This is where you want to spend your time. Life's short. You should really do something better. Sell us decals. I haven't even made one yet. I'm going to do. I learned how to make a different thing today. You love to meet me up. So I think I'll do some giveaways with some labels and stuff once I get a little better. You did, Teacup. Great. Did you get the one? Which one did you get? Did anybody find that one that's on sale at Walmart that I told you about? Me pick a number. What is the number? You have people in mind? Who's going to be the number? Oh, you got that one. You got it. You found it for $139. Did you find it for $139? Great. That's a good deal. Write down a number? Okay, I'm going to write down a number. From 1 to what? From what am I writing? What's my range? Can I show you the journal? Yeah, hang on. I have to go get it. Hang on, I'll be right there. I'll be right there. Okay, let's see. I was gonna, I was gonna get up before when I was reading to like shake my legs out or something. I'm telling you, I was like, they're not gonna know. But then I thought my mouth would be too much above the microphone. Why is this not working? Okay, all right. Now, just so This is my planner. Look at this. Woman on a mission, and I haven't even planned one thing out in it. Okay? And this is the journal. It's the storybook journal. The lines are it's the Sherlock Holmes, and the lines are actually, they look like lines, but they're actually the text of the entire book. And it says there's nothing more deceptive than an obvious fact. So what do you want me to do, Wildlife? What number am I, what's my range? It's up to Wildlife, because Wildlife got it for 3 people got them. Carla, I have other things. Carla, who else got it? Carla, Kathy, and Wildlife. And Carla and Kathy got theirs, but Wildlife then took a lot of time to get me the address, and then said, I don't know, I don't know if I'll use it, maybe give it to someone else. I can live on the edge and have no plans. So what number, wait, 1 to 200, and I picked the number? All right, let me see. Okay, I'm done. Now what's going to happen? Now everybody's going to put a number in? Oh, this is going to be fun. It's between 1 and 200. And I'm just going to watch until it comes up? Okay, so I can just relax and watch until the number comes up? We're going to wait for the exact number, right? I guess they can keep guessing until they get the exact number. Somebody gets the exact number? Okay. Now you guys are going like faster than fast. Hold on, slow down. Nobody has it yet that I've seen. Okay, slow down, slow down, slow down. You guys are going too fast. Let me see. Nobody yet. Go ahead. One to 200. Oh, you guys are going too fast. I haven't seen it. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I think some, hold on. Hold on, let me see. I'm trying to see. I thought I might have seen it go by, but I'm checking. I'm just going to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, I don't see it yet, so I'm going to go now down to who knows how long you guys have been writing now. Okay, hold on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Going. can't believe it. You guys are like all over it, and you're just not getting it. You've hit like the numbers before. Oh, wait a minute. Now it seems like, hold on a minute. Okay, I have not seen it go up yet. A number between 1 and 200. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Wait, let me see. Hold on. Did somebody get it? I wish I had someone else looking with me. I don't see it yet. It's okay, Teacup, I have one. Hold on. Oh boy, I don't see it. You guys, I see every number around the one I have, but I don't see the one I picked. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Oh, I see it. Somebody has it. I saw it. Okay. I see. Now, I don't know. Now, here's the thing. If the number I see isn't the first one, if somebody says when I said that that person has it and someone says like, no, I had it like way before, whoever is the person that has the right number first is going to be the winner no matter what I saw. But the number was 174. Right now, I just saw MC Camps with 174. If somebody had it before M7, here's my number, 174. Can you see it? I don't know. What the heck? Can't see it. How can you see it? Yeah, there we go, 174. Okay. So if somebody had that before, let me know. Otherwise, the person that had 174 needs to send me their address. You think you did, Janelle? All right, we'll go up there and see if you had 174. I had it, but I don't know where there is. If it's there, we could go back in the chat and look who typed 174 first. And then the person that types 174 first will be notified by the prize committee. We'll have to go back in the live and look who did it first. You think? Or I don't know. They wouldn't have picked. It would be much. Oh, I wouldn't have picked. It would be too much money to send to Scotland. Oh, that's okay. Are the numbers coming through late? Well, we're done with it. We just have to. Oh, Leisha did? Okay. Leisha, send me your address. Thank Wildlife, and Wildlife, I'll get you something. What state do you live in? I always feel you gave me your address, so I know what state you live in. I can never remember it for some reason because I always think you live like where Two Scooter is in Indiana, or she lives in Indiana, right? Yeah, I don't know. You're not in Indiana. You're like out in somewhere Utah. Somewhere? I don't know. I have to go look. Okay. Thanks, Sam. You think it's backlogged? It might be. I don't know. You forgot? Yeah, it was moving really, really, really fast. Kathy's still guessing. That's a good thing though. I mean, to give away something really fast, that's a good idea, especially if I could have like an extra person watching, like an extra person that knows my number and that's watching the chat with me. Because I have some other books and coloring books, and I think I have some other journals to give away too. So that is a good way to do it. You were buffering. That was a lot of fun. That was so much fun. You had to stop working and get involved. Okay, so we'll do some more like that. Now, you'll help me watch, Peggy? Okay, good. I'll keep you on for the next time. Let's do it again. You can help watch too, Alicia. You had it in your head? Yeah, I should have typed it, right? I should have. That stressed the heck out of you, Natalie? That was my break, yeah. That was a break. That was great, Merlin. Oh, boy. Wow, the time is moving slower. It feels like it is. What? It's not 3:33 yet? It is moving slower. It was a fun break. Get up, stretch your legs. Fast moving Keno. Don't you hate when you're playing bingo and you know, like you think you have, and then you're like, no, okay, and now you know there's like too many numbers, and you know the next one is going to be a bingo, and you're trying to win, and you think you almost have it, and you're like secretly praying, no bingo, no bingo, like I just need the bingo, and you just know it. You need, and it's yeah, bingo makes me very nervous because I'm like, no, someone's going to call it. I know someone's going to call it. I know they're going to call it. They're going to call it. I'm done now. I'm done. Okay, and then bam. 174, you go, girl. Coffee. Crispy bacon? Wow. Nice to meet you, Crispy Bacon. I would never think, I wouldn't think anything of you or mind you at all, Crispy Bacon. Someone say coffee. You make decals? Okay. I am going to try. I'm trying a 3-layer decal. That's my new thing that I learned. Your nerves are gone. Oh, Chris Watts is here. Hey, Chris Watts. Saying hi to you, Diane. Waiting for a line for a $5 and your nerves are shot. To be called into a chat. B4 to win. They said B14. Yeah. Or when you need a B and all they're calling is like 5 G's in a row, and you're like, oh my gosh, 5 G's in a row. How many M&Ms in the jar? But then you've got to actually count the M&Ms, Joanne. And then what if you're counting them and you eat one and then the count is off and somebody asks you to recount it? That's too difficult. A number instead of a long name. And spit him out when we realized how poisonous he is. What did you spit out? Polyester. And Darius. You pick a number and you tell me how many M&Ms in the jar. That's why you just pick a number and tell people. Oh, okay, that's good, Tori. They would never know. So Jimmy Rodgers is guilty, Diana. He is second-degree murder. Little Jimmy Rodgers, second-degree murder. You'd be waiting for big money and would be worse, heart attacks. He started yelling the number. Oh my gosh. So what else? Bella Mac has me watching this Italian grandmother cooking. What is it? Bon appetito. Yeah, but it's like, they have it. No reason. I just thought of it. Just came to my head. You love her, Pat Miller? I sent her to my daughter because my daughter likes stuff like that too. I actually sent her to my older son too. Gina, yeah. We're gonna make it the eggplant, the parmesan. Yeah, Gina. And nice. Yeah. Bon appetit. Yeah. Gina, you love her too? You love her? Okay, good. Oh my gosh, she puts so much salt. That's the thing though. I want to taste what she's making. Does anybody know where she lives? Because if a lot of these old grandmothers, they live in the New York area, Italian grandmothers. I would go there because I just want to taste what she's making, because I saw her making eggplant parmesan today, and the amount of salt that went into I could not imagine that it did not taste like just pure salt, because I'm not really big on salt, but the amounts of salt that were going in that recipe. There's an Italian Pasquale. Yeah. I don't usually use salt either. She's in New York. Okay, good. I'm going to see if I'm just going to say, Gina, please, I just have to taste it. Because I don't know whether, like, they look like a lot of salt. You thought they most lived in Italy? No, she lives in the States. Y'all quit hating on the salt. It's a lot of salt, though. She might be using Hawaiian sea salt. She's not. You should see how much salt she's using. But maybe, I don't know, maybe it's not as much as it appears. I just want to taste it. I want to sit down and taste it with her. If she'll have me over for a little bit. I'll tell her we can go live together. We could go in a cook-off in her kitchen. Where does she live in New York? She lives in New York proper, New York City. Where is she? It's a lot of salt, Isla. I watched her can the tomatoes. You know what, Sharon? That's what a lot of the Italians do. It's so crazy. They will build beautiful homes with nice kitchens upstairs, and they put a kitchen in the basement. Now, her basement was not even finished, and they put a stove in there, and that's what they do. Like, they keep their kitchen like a show kitchen, usually. They don't use it, but they go downstairs to do all the canning and all that stuff. Yeah, they put an extra stove at least in there. I've known ones that put entire kitchens down there with the cabinets, with everything. And I know one that built a new house. She had her kitchen upstairs. Within 1 year, they went and put an entire kitchen downstairs, and that's the only kitchen you use. You do not use the show kitchen. So yeah, and even my cousins and stuff, a lot of them like they do wine and all kinds of stuff, and they have another kitchen. But they put her upstairs in the regular kitchen because I think they were like, "Come on, Nona, come on, you got to come up in the kitchen. This is not a good." Um, well, actually, Sandy, she buys the tomatoes because my mother used to do that too with peppers. You could get big bushels from the farms up there, so she bought them, and she then crushes them and cans them. My nonna called it the kitchenette. Well, they don't clean 2 kitchens, Kristen, because they only use one. The other one's a show kitchen. They just have to, dust a little bit. That's all. She had so much sauce. It was ridiculous. This is for me and my familia. Yeah. Yeah, she keeps the canning there. Yeah. But I don't understand how they don't have to like put those, like, how do those jars seal like that? That you think it would go moldy? Because she doesn't put it in the big canning apparatus thing that I had to do with the pickles, where I had to put them under water and all that kind of crap. How come she gets away with just doing that, putting them under a blanket and nice, go to bed? How does she do that? Who knows how that seals? They don't want to smell the fish. Oh, she probably grows some things, but she said those tomatoes she bought a bushel. It looked like her grandkids help her. She was outside picking her green peppers. She sings too. Yeah, she does. But how, thank you, Carol. But how come she didn't have to, Sharon, how come she didn't have to seal the jars? How come Sharon never calls into the show and talks to me? When she talks to me on the phone, she will never call in the show and talk. And she could just answer my question if she would just call in. Sharon, how come she doesn't have to put the jars in that big pot? Some people have to put them in their bathtub and stuff, don't they? Oh, send me the number. She's going to call in finally after a year. Okay. You'll all get to hear Sharon for the first time. I'm going to send it to your email. Sharon never gets my emails. What is it? Isn't it? It begins with a C, doesn't it, Sharon? How come it's not coming up for me? Oh, I know what it is. I always put the lady's name, and I'm not the other one. I got it now. You don't use the lady's name. All right. So we'll wait. I want to find out, because I was like thinking like, oh my gosh, lady, that's going to turn moldy. It's going to turn moldy. You love that cooking. You don't watch now because you can't eat. Oh, really? She's nice just to have on because she reminds me of a lot of people that I know that are not here. I would really like to go there. I'd like her to kind of adopt me a little bit. Maybe she will. Maybe I can write to her and I can tell her, like, I just want to, that I could can the sauce with her and stuff. Hey, April. Italian cooking with Gina. Bon appetit. She's got like 200 and Almost 300,000 subscribers. I thank you very much, Watchy. And maybe you no like you no like a pepper, right? Oh, she makes a lot of. She doesn't just make pasta. No, she makes so much stuff. She puts them on a blanket. Yeah, but how does that they not get moldy? Because like you're supposed to. I thought you have to can them and they have to go under water and then you have to have this bath on them and I don't know what happens. Maybe you no like it. Maybe you no like it salt. Maybe you no like it. You don't use it. You hope I go there and tell her you said hello? Peeling tomatoes after they had been boiled and cooled, right. And then she put them through that big grinding thing. I pass it through like 2-3 times. You're scared of botulism. Hey.
Hey.
Ooh. Hey, how you came in? Oh, you have to shut your YouTube.
Hang on, I'm turning it down.
Okay.
Okay. So, Grandma does a water bath. You know, she's got that contraption that I want really badly. You know, where she funnels the tomatoes in and they crank it, and it takes the skins off and all that. You know, I do it the hard way. But she water baths it. After she does it, she puts it in the jars.
Right.
And then she puts the little gold ring or the cap on. Then
right.
she puts
turned
the
it upside
second.
Down.
She puts the second lid on. Okay.
Yeah.
And then she puts it in these big pans of water that she's got on the stove, and she sets the jars in there, and she water baths them for, I don't know, I forget how long.
Well, the one
maybe
I saw, you know what she did in the one I saw? She kept the sauce boiling. She put basil in the jar. She filled up the jar. She put the lids on. Then she turned it upside down, and she put it under a comforter, and she said it was going to cook all night.
No, you got to go back and watch it. She water bathed them first. When she's done water bathing them, she takes them out and she set them all upright. And then she did use a quilt over them. She absolutely did put a quilt over them. But then you can hear them because I do them too. And then all of a sudden you'll be standing there and you'll hear ping, ping, ping. That's the lids going down where they're sealing. And once they seal, then you can take that outer ring off, which I don't. But most people do take the outer ring off, and you can store them on a shelf. What I don't understand is that she takes that basil and she just throws it in there. What if the basil's contaminated? All of a sudden, she's got ick growing in her tomatoes.
Well, she probably washed it, but then she puts salt too. Basil and salt is all she puts in there, and then you can season it up when you have it there. But yeah, I don't understand, and I maybe I have to call her or something because I didn't see her doing that. That's why I was very confused.
Yeah, she absolutely has to water bath them. Otherwise, she's going to poison everybody.
You have to watch I'll send you the one I watched because I didn't see it. I didn't see that.
I'm sure. How many could she have out of those videos? But I watched it and I was like, "Well, you go, Grandma," because that little thing she has. That's what I want. That they just turn the handle and.
I think hers was electric. I don't even think she had a handle. Did she?
It didn't have a handle?
I think she was saying she got an electric one, and it was just like...
Oh, that could be. But, all the stuff, because when I do it, I sit there, and I've got a pan of boiling water, and I take a fork, and I stick it in the tomato, and I stick the tomato in the boiling water. I pull it out. I pull the skin off. I take the core out of the tomato. Then I cut the tomato up, and I throw it in another pan. And I keep filling the pan, and I boil my tomatoes first. And then I put them in the jars. And then I water bath them, and then I put them on the shelf. But then I wait for them to ping, okay? And the only reason she puts the quilt over it is to allow them to cool down more slowly instead of like a shock cooling type thing.
Yeah. She said
yeah.
They keep cooking.
That's why.
In the jar.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
Yeah,
maybe,
but I used to go out just like a migrant worker. I used to go out. I'd pick my own tomatoes. I'd bring them home, immediately wash them, and get them all ready to go. And in the same day, I'd have them canned and everything and put away. And that's how I used to make my spaghetti, right from me picking them, all the way to the sauce. I had to cook it like crazy, like for hours and hours and hours and hours, but really make good spaghetti sauce. Now I cheat. I use tomato paste
are
and
you
what have
Italian,
you.
Sharon?
No.
No, you're not, right? You're Irish, right?
I'm Irish and Maltese.
Oh, okay.
That's right below Sicily in the Mediterranean, so I mean,
So where'd you learn to make sauce?
I don't know. Just different people's sauce I liked. I find food that I like, and then I come home and I try to make it, recreate it.
You didn't have like an Italian neighbor or somebody you grew up with?
No.
No?
No. My mom wasn't real big on spaghetti sauce, but my dad was, so I kind of learned, I guess, from my dad. But then I just created my own version, and I made it yesterday. I never make it the same. Never. I don't measure anything. I just say, okay, because I ran out of tomato paste, and I was standing there saying, uh-oh, now what? Now what? So instead, I went and I got the diced tomatoes, and I added extra of those, and then I just let it boil like mad, so.
Yeah, no, wow. So, yeah, no, she's...
You got to cook it down, yeah.
Yeah, Bella Max, I was watching her. I put her on in the background when I'm doing something.
Mm-hmm.
She's just funny to listen
I think it's funny that we all seem to know who this woman is.
I know, and
That's
you knew
pretty
the other
funny.
one that a lot of people knew the other one. My daughter said about the Depression, cooking the Italian, the other lady. But yeah, that one passed away. But Gina's alive and well, right? Gina's alive and well.
Do you know there's another guy though you might be interested in? He does the Instapot stuff. Have you found him yet? He's a New Yorker.
Oh, is that the guy that made the cheesecake? No, wait. What's his name?
Could be. Oh gosh, he's gay.
Oh.
He's Jewish, but he eats pork. That's the best way I can describe him.
Does he do stuff like in his apartment?
Yes.
I think I might know who it is. Is he trying to be like a little bit of a comedian?
Yes.
Okay, then I think I know who it is.
Yeah. I can find his name. I can't think of his name. It's something simple, too.
Yeah, I think I know his name. I mean, I think I know who he is. Not his name. I don't know his name, but I know who. I know New York City.
He's got really good recipes. I don't do the Instapot, but you can take any of his recipes and make it in a crock pot, or on the stove for that matter.
Oh, Tony said, whoever would like to come and cook for her is more than welcome. You're making me hungry.
Okay, Tori. I like to cook. I just need an inspiration. I need people to request things.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll make it.
Right. You
need Sandy Bays. It's not red sauce or gravy. It's sauce. It's just sauce, spaghetti sauce.
Johnny Meatballs from New Jersey whispered to me. Yes, I've heard. Yes, she calls it. Gina calls it gravy. A lot of the older Italians.
I know.
Call it gravy.
I know they do, but I don't.
We got the Sunday gravy. Yeah. Okay.
Gravy is what you put on mashed potatoes. That's the way I see
Americans,
it.
yeah. Italians, gravy is a sauce. A lot of. You can cook a whole frozen chicken in less than an hour in an Instapot. Yeah. My daughter just made yogurt in the Instant Pot, and she said she will never go back to store-bought yogurt.
Really?
Yeah, she said she loved it. My daughter cooks everything in the Instant Pot.
Oh, that's interesting. I was going to get one.
Oh, I can't believe you don't have one. You buy everything.
Well, it's just, I'm here, and I don't mind cooking, so... although I do need inspiration. I need somebody to say, oh, I really like it if you'd fill in the blank, and then I'll make it. I hate to have to think up stuff all the time. So.
You missed it, Lisa. Lisa's trying to say she got 333. I have 335 over here. 336.
It's 336 on mine.
See, she thought I'd forget.
336.
She put 333, so you missed by 3
Sakura,
minutes.
it's an Instapot, P-O-T, Instapot. Yes, 3:37. Not really for Sakura. She's saying it in your time zone. It's really only 1:37 for her.
Oh, is it? She's 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2 hours.
And what's your time, though?
I'm the same as you.
You're the same as me? That's weird.
Well, I'm near the very end of the Eastern time zone. So the sun comes up later here and it sets later here. When I go out and visit my friend in Rhode Island, it gets dark early and the sun comes up early. Like, there's more than an hour difference between our sunrise and sunset. So, and you just go out of Michigan right to Illinois and voila, you're in the central time zone. So we're at the end of the Eastern time zone.
Oh, okay. I don't know. My daughter said, I want to make my own kombucha. And I'm like, what do I need? And she's like, you need this thing from Etsy. Because I forget what she said it's called. And I'm like, and then she's like, I'm like, why? She's like, because you got to make your bacteria in there. And that just scared the crap out of me. Because I thought, like, what if I make the wrong kind of bacteria and it's not right? So then I'm like, how hard is that? Right? But
do you remember those friendship cakes that people used to give you the starter for it? Did you guys have that in New York?
No.
All my friends, they're you'd be in the parking lot at school waiting to pick up your kid, and somebody come along with a baggie and say, "Here, this is for you. It's friendship cake batter, and this is the starter." And then they include the recipe, and you're like looking at it, going, "I don't know what your kitchen looks like, so I don't know if I want to use it."
But what is it? What color is a friendship cake?
You have to have like the starter, and it's like this goop. I don't know what it is. It's whatever they use. They probably started it, 10 years ago, and they've continued. Like you make your batch, and then you take like some out of your batch, and you put it in baggies, and you give it to the next bunch of people.
Oh, it's not that it's a bacteria or anything.
Well, yeah, because it's like yeasty or something. I don't know.
Because I know there's something else, not even kombucha, but what is that other thing? Kefir, that my friend bought from someone on Craigslist, because you have to start it. So she's like, I bought it from someone on Craigslist. She seemed like a nice woman. And this was like 10 years ago. And I'm like, you bought kefir? She's like, but I'm thinking, like, why can't you start it on your own? You have to have somebody start it for you.
I have no idea. I've never made it.
Okay. Anybody know about kefir? People are buying it off of Craigslist from people? That I wouldn't like.
I know what it is. I've never made it.
That reminds me of the marketplace on Facebook, because Jimmy said, look around and see if you see like a really big tank for the turtle for a good price. So you know what I do when I look? I not only look, that everything has to look very clean to me, even though he says he's going to sterilize everything. Then I look up their Facebook profile.
I just remembered the name of that guy.
Who?
Pressure Luck. Like Press Your Luck.
Oh, yeah,
remember that game?
Yes.
It's Pressure Luck. Yeah.
Yes. Then I look up their Facebook profile. I will. And I'm like, no, they don't look, no, they look like they look like there's a lot of smoking going around. It probably, the whole stand probably smells like smoke. I'm like, no. So you see me go through, and then I narrow them down. Oh, that looks like good, yeah, I go nuts. I can't imagine buying kefir, something you're going to eat from someone that you found on the internet.
Mm-mm. If I go to a potluck, I'm kind of leery about some people's dishes. I avoid.
Yeah, I'm not, For a turtle tank, we have to get, we want to get a big one, like a 55, 65, 75 gallon, something like that. So I found some, but I weed them out. Well, there's an echo because I don't put myself on mute. If I put myself on mute, then there's no echo. But then everybody doesn't think I'm there.
I don't have my volume on. Am I echoing?
Not to me.
Am I loud enough? There is an echo. Oh.
So watch. If I put myself on mute, there's no.
Okay. Do you hear an echo now? Hello, 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 hello. Okay, we did. Alma says we're fine. You can turn yourself back on or whatever.
Okay.
There we go.
Now they're going to say, now watch. Oh, there's an echo now. But I hear an echo. I hear something in the background. Like it sounds like you don't have anything on?
I don't. I don't even have the fan on. I'm just
No, I mean
sitting here.
YouTube. Because I hear like YouTube playing.
My volume is at absolute zero. It's down all the way, completely down.
Okay. Oh, but you never heard an echo. Okay, no echo. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. Anybody have any questions for Sharon? First time on?
Yeah, what do you want to know? Teacup says you're the echo, Carol, and not me.
Oh, yeah? I'm the echo?
Apparently. So you guys don't have any
nice
questions
voice.
for me?
Alma says you have a nice voice.
Who said that?
Alma.
Oh, thank you.
And Leisha says it too.
Well, that's nice. Thank you very much.
And Carol Lucy. And Janelle wants to know where's what, the cat she's getting?
Where's the cat?
You didn't get it yet, did you?
No, I don't have a kitty. I do. My doctor literally wrote me a prescription for feline therapy for 2 cats, 0 refills. I have it stuck on the refrigerator. But my husband, it just isn't ready yet. I mean, Sophia was 20 years and 9 months old, and he took it very well. We both did, but I've never seen him like that. It was just horrible for him. So he's not quite ready, and we also want to do all the floors in this house and paint and stuff like that. And he doesn't think he wants to have a little kitten running around while we're doing it. So that's why we're waiting. But I'm getting to the point that I really need a cat. Really, really, yeah.
Right. Or a grandchild coming anytime soon?
That too, but you know what? I don't see anything happening over there, and I'm hoping for an oops. Like, oops.
Oh my gosh, they've been married a while, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 years.
Wow.
The time is now.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I always ask my son, like, I'm sure, like, anytime I hear, like, someone that he's even been friends with maybe that's had it, I go, that's not your baby, is it? No, Mom. It's like, don't worry about it. But no, I was like, so-and-so had a baby. That's not your baby, right? No. Oh my gosh. And grandkids are the best wildlife? Yeah, maybe someday.
Oh, geez, what I wouldn't do for a baby.
Killing me, Tanya.
Sakura's right. I do have her kitty. I claim her kitty Foxy as my cat.
Oh yeah.
And I talk to him on the phone, and he seems to like me talking to him. So I don't know.
You talk to the cat on the phone?
It was pretty funny because Sakura and I were talking back and forth, and she said she'd just gotten out of the hospital, and she says, "Yeah, I'm babysitting Sharon's cat and all this other business." Kathy from Texas came along, and I know she thought, "Oh my," she says, "That's kind of rude making you babysit her cat when you're in such bad shape." It's like, we laughed about that for so long because it was so cute the way she said it, and we just said, well, we live 1,800 miles apart, so that's really not. It's her cat, but it's pretty funny. Yes, well, I am the cat whisperer. That's what they called me at work. Whenever they had a cat come through, didn't matter where I was, they'd call me and say, "We have a cat." I'd say, "Okay, I'll be there." And I used to take care of the cats. Oh, I worked at the airport.
Sam says she has a 4 and 10-month-old grandbaby. Nothing in the world like it, right? Yeah.
My friend here's daughter just had a baby on October 1st, and it's funny because she named her Cynthia Luella, so we've been calling her Cindy Lou Who. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's funny.
They're going to call her Lulu, but it's after my friend's twin sister died.
Oh.
And so her name was Cynthia, and then her other sister died also, and her middle name was Luella. So she named the baby after her 2 aunts, and we've been calling her Cindy Lou Who.
Cindy Lou Who.
Yeah. She's so cute.
Oh, you're going to have to tape. Carol Lucy's going to tape your voice. So she can play it for her cats.
Oh, hello, kitty. Kitty, kitty. What a pretty kitty.
Yeah, Sharon has a very kind, very motherly voice. Very. Yeah.
Oh,
It
dear.
makes you feel that. Oh, okay, it's gonna be okay.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Everything will be okay. Don't worry. I got your back. Yeah, that's me. I'm a mom.
Yeah.
I had so much fun being a mom. I can't even tell you. And I spoiled him. I didn't, but I did. But I told him, no one will ever do this for you, so don't expect anyone to ever do this for you, but I'm going to do it. Because when he would go out, before he got the bus in the morning, I'd put his coat in the dryer
Oh,
and warm it
heat
up
it
in the
up.
dryer, and then I'd give him his coat when it was warm, and then
Yeah.
he could go out for the bus. Yeah, I did stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother looked at me like I was insane, but I thought, no, I'm going to raise him the way I wish somebody had raised me, so that's what I did.
Yeah, my parents used to do that for my daughter when they used to put her. They had that one blower that blew the heat out, like really, and they used to put it right there so her clothes were warm when she got dressed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She still remembers that to this day. Yeah.
Oh, I used to where he worked when he was still in high school. I used to go by and park my car, take his car, take it to the gas station, fill it up, and put it back in the same spot. Yeah. I used to go out in the morning and start his car for him so it'd be warm when he got in it. Yeah. I used to let him park in the garage so he didn't have to clean the snow off it. I told him, no one will ever do this for you. Just know that.
Sharon sounds like maybe from Chicago.
I'm from Michigan. Yeah.
Were you born and
Similar.
raised in Michigan?
Yes. Well, yes, but I went to school in Canada, high school in Canada, so I can do Canadian too. I know when to throw in A at the
He's
right
been married
point.
for 7 years, her son.
7, yeah.
7, yeah.
It's time. There's just got to be an oops. Otherwise, I just don't think it's going to happen. So.
He's enjoying too much time on the road, right? He likes that lifestyle. Not on the road. He's not on the road, right?
Mostly local. I mean,
Local.
yeah, he has gone.
But I mean the whole rocker lifestyle. A little bit. Does she go to his gigs?
Yeah. We went, Friday? Yeah, we went Friday. She came to that one. And we drove over an hour to that. In fact, I was like worried coming home because I kept going, oh, they're having the big 2,000 party, or the 20,000 party. And Mike's like, well, I'm sure they'll be fine without you.
We didn't have the party
yet.
I know.
We got to get home.
I know we have to have the party. We didn't have the party yet. I know that. I keep thinking about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, the party. But yeah, we'll look at it. We'll get it before 21.
Yeah, she doesn't come to all of his gigs because it would be like him going to work with her if you think about it. Which he does meet. Actually, he meets her at work sometimes and has lunch because they let you do that there.
Oh yeah.
They'll feed anybody. Yeah, they've got a chef. The chef makes the meals, and they'll feed you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's always snacks. There's beverages. There's soups. I mean, there's everything. Everything you can imagine. It's there, and it's free. So that's pretty cool. She keeps telling me I should come up there on a Friday and, go to lunch with her there. So I'll do that.
Carol Lucy said, we all do it, heating milk for cereal, warming their clothes, etc., while screaming, hurry the hell up, you're going to be late. Your cereal's going to get cold. Nag, nag, nag. That's me anyway.
Carol Lucy, I made pancakes every day.
You made
pancakes every day. That's what he wanted. That's what I made. And I used to put little signs in them. I used to take toothpicks, and then I'd write a message, and then I'd stick it with tape on the toothpick and put little signs in his food. No animals were hurt in the making of these pancakes, and just different weird things I would put on it, and then that would be on the top of his pancakes. And I used to think he thought I was kind of goofy, but I opened his drawer in the den one time when he was in college, and I found all the messages in his drawer. So he kept them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Money Fairy used to visit him in college because my brother was really sick. He had the 2 bone marrow transplants, and he was at the University of Michigan hospital, and my son was at the University of Michigan. So I was up at the hospital every single day, and I would run over to the dorm to see if I could catch Michael there, and I never did. But when I was with my brother, I would sit there with colored pencils, and I'd draw on envelopes, and I would draw like this fairies, different fairies, and color them and everything. And then I'd just put money in the envelope, and then I'd run over to Michael's dorm, and if he wasn't there, I'd just stick it underneath his door. And then I'd get a phone call later, he'd ask for the money fairy, and the money fairy has a French accent, and he would talk to the money fairy and thank the money fairy for the donation. Yeah, I did that. Yeah.
The money fairy. The money fairy had a French
fairies.
accent?
We had the car fairy, the money fairy, the laundry fairy. Clothes disappeared and reappeared on hangers in my house, and no one knew how it happened. It was very interesting. They didn't even know we had a laundry room.
You do the same thing for your husband?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? You put little messages every day in his food?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Sometimes I did.
Yeah.
But not like with Michael. No. With him, I did it frequently, all the time.
Oh, my gosh. That's the cutest? I guess the cutest. Oh, my gosh.
I just had fun, It took us 7 years of infertility to get this kid.
Right.
And I was determined we were going to have a good time. That's all there was to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do they do for me? They love me. They take care of me. They're kind to me. That's all I need.
Does Sharon like her daughter-in-law?
I love her. Yes.
You have another one in the fridge calling your name, Alma? Cutest. I say that. It reminds... Oh, animals and kiddos. Oh, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Your granddaughter got so excited because one of her gifts was in a huge box. Yeah, they just look at my kids when they were little. They never finished opening their presents. They always got caught up in the first one, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. Carol, I only have one. I lost a couple, but I only have one. And Michael was a multiple when I got pregnant because I had 8 eggs that month. We used the fertility drugs, and doctor told me, go home, put my feet up, don't sneeze, don't do anything, don't pick up anything. And I finally got pregnant, and the beta subunit was like off the charts, and he said there's multiples. First he said come back in like, I forget, a week or something, and we'll count. And I said, count what? And he said babies. He says your beta sub's off the charts. There's multiples. I said, oh my gosh. But I started bleeding, so I lost one for sure, but I kept one. But I was 7 months on bed rest after that. 7 full months on bed rest. So I was very lucky to have him. Very, very lucky to have him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And somebody just said something. Alicia said, what did Alicia say? I think Alicia said something. Or somebody said something. Oh, wait. Was Sharon the one whose daughter-in-law went camping? And yes, she was so worried.
Yes, and I lost my mind. I did. I lost my mind. I just the thought of her being alone camping was horrendous. Very. But she was okay.
She was okay.
But I still don't like it.
Your mom has lost 3, but losing your little sister took a toll on her. Oh, sorry, Alma.
Yeah. It's hard. I've lost 3 siblings. It's hard. The worst, well, how do you rate them worse? But my brother, who was 7.5, drowned when I was 19.
Oh, wow.
And I was the oldest girl, so I essentially, I was like 12 when he was born, and I raised him. I had literally raised him, and I was telling Sakura that I felt like he was my child, more than my mother's, much more than my mother's. I interacted with him way more than my mother did. And it was hard. So.
How did he drown? Swimming?
The woman across the street, her son, he was friends with her son, and we lived on a lake similar in size to yours, maybe a little smaller. And the beach was like 3 houses away. You know, they had a sandy beach and stuff. And so she asked if Mark could go with her kid down to the beach and that she would go down there with them. And my mom said, okay. And so my brother did. And then there were 2 lifeguards down there, and there was a roped off area, and her kid came out of the water, but my brother didn't. And she stood up and started, you know, looking around for my brother and yelled at the lifeguards who were just sitting underneath a tree, not paying attention to anything. And they found him in the water, and my mom called me hysterical. She called me at work, and I told my boss, and he drove me home, but I got off. I got there just when the ambulance got to the lake, and I got out. I said, I live there, and pointed and said, tell my mom I'm down here at the lake. And I got in the ambulance, and I rode to the hospital in the ambulance with my brother. And the driver kept saying, don't look back, don't look back, don't look back. So naturally, I looked back, and he was dark purple. And they were like doing CPR. They were doing everything that they could. And, you know, it was horrendous, absolutely horrendous. And,
Wow. Yeah,
you know, there were seven others, there were 8 children, so there's still 7 of us. And
but he was the
we
youngest?
he was the youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my family, they're dying from the bottom up instead of the top down, which
Wow.
is kind of strange.
Mm.
But, yeah. So, yeah, we didn't handle grief well. We all retreated into little different corners like wounded animals and just couldn't talk to one another, couldn't cope. You know, everybody just hid themselves in different parts of the house.
Oh, that's
You know?
terrible. Yeah, that's sad. It is.
Yeah, we couldn't deal with it.
Mm.
Yeah, so.
A lot of time, yeah, and even back then, they didn't even. They just like how cancer wasn't talked about, and you know, it's like a lot of things weren't talked. Miscarriages weren't talked about.
No.
Stillbirth, you know, all kinds of stuff like that. It's not. It's sometimes today. It's not. Some of it's not either. You know, not. But it's It's like as if hiding it away is going to make it. Yeah, I don't know. Better. I don't know where that came out. You know. But yeah. More and more.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Everybody deals in different ways. It was years before I could talk about it. Years. I know one time I was going down to Florida with Mike and his parents, and my husband and his parents. We weren't married yet, and my mother-in-law made some crack about. We were driving by a cemetery, and she goes, "Did you know that the people in there are blind and deaf?" And I'm like looking at her because I didn't get it at first. And then it dawned on me. And I started to cry. And Mike's like leaning over saying, "What are you doing? What are you telling her this stuff for, you know?" And Mike says, she lost her brother and she's, very sensitive. And she says, "Well, you'd think she'd be over it by now."
Your mother said that?
My mother-in-law said
Oh, your
that.
mother-in-law. Oh,
You want to
okay.
hear what my mother-in-law said to me the day I got back from my honeymoon? We got back. We had to stay with them, with my in-laws, for a couple weeks because we were moving into a townhouse and it wasn't ready yet. And so we were staying with them, and there was a big card party that his father was having. So we got home just in time for my husband to join them. So I was sitting out on the deck with her, and she goes, "Oh, look at you all smiling and happy back from your honeymoon. Don't think for a second that he's going to be faithful to you." That's what she said to me the day I got back from my honeymoon.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, right? Isn't that amazing?
And did he hear it?
Lord. No, it took him about, probably about 8 years before he caught her. Because he couldn't understand why I didn't want to drive down to Florida with them every year. And then spend 2 weeks in Florida with them in an Airstream every year. Imagine.
An Airstream.
Yeah, And they had a house. They moved down there and they had a house. And Mike he's got a twin brother, and my father-in-law had gone out golfing. And so that left my sister-in-law me and my mother-in-law at the house. And I had gotten, we made like iced tea. And I was getting ice out of the freezer, and I put it in my glass. And my sister-in-law had done the same thing. And we're standing there drinking our tea, and my mother-in-law comes into the kitchen, and she says, "Where did you get that ice? Where did you get that ice?" I says, "Out of the freezer." She goes, "You can't have that." I said, "What?" She says, "You cannot have that ice. You have to put it back." I said, "It's already in my glass." You know, she says, because whoever got there first, to back up, whoever got down to Florida first got to stay in the Airstream in the yard, okay? And my brother-in-law and sister-in-law were flying, and we drove. But instead of leaving in the morning like we intended to, we left the night before, and we drove straight through, and we beat them by about 2 hours. So we got the Airstream in the yard. And my mother-in-law was really mad because she didn't want Darlene and Phil staying in the house. She wanted Mike and I to stay in the house. See?
Oh,
Because I was her favorite. Can you believe it? But anyway, so she made me give back the ice. Well, in the meantime, Mike and his brother and his dad had gone to golf, but they forgot something, and Mike had come back. And he was standing on the front porch. The door was open. He was looking in the entire time and saw what his mom was doing and how she's yelling at me and saying, "You can't have that ice," and all this other crap. And so, you know, I gave the ice back. I didn't know, what are you doing? Darlene just said, "I'll give you mine when we get outside." And I said, "Okay." So he's standing out there, and he says, "I heard everything." He says, "I believe you. I'm so mad." He was so mad. And we ended up leaving there like several days early, and we just went over to Disney World and had a good time at Disney World instead of staying with them the entire time, because it was pretty awful.
Sounds it. Sounds.
I tried really hard. I tried everything I could to be what she wanted, but she was continuously sending me mixed signals continuously. She was just, I just don't know. She hated men. She hated men.
She hated men?
But
okay. You keep talking because I just have to answer this phone. So you keep talking. I'm going to put myself on mute.
Sure. What shall we talk about? Anyway, my mother-in-law, I could write a book about that woman. And it's you know, she would say, "Oh, she met somebody at bowling or whatever. Oh, she's like the daughter I never had." And she would tell me stuff like that and be like, but I would go to her house on Fridays. I was giving up my Friday nights. I was driving an hour to go over there and, you know, take her out to dinner and keep her occupied because our husbands were golfing, and then we'd meet them after they were golfing at the bar at the 19th hole, whatever you want to call it. And, yeah. But somebody else who she met for an hour is like the daughter she never had. I'd go shopping with her. You know, she discovered that I could sew. I was altering all of her clothes. I was doing everything. And the things that she would say about my my other two sister-in-laws kind of made me wonder. At one point, I said to myself, "Gee, if she's saying this about Darlene and Ann, I wonder what she says about me." So I asked Ann. Ann says, "Oh, you should hear what she says about you." So that's kind of how I found out. She'd already said really off-the-wall crazy things to me, you know, but I don't know. She's gone now. She died on my son's birthday, which was too bad. That was kind of really too bad. But that's maybe why I'm a pretty decent mother-in-law, because I know how not to treat somebody, you know, and why I might be a halfway decent mother too, because I know how not to treat your child, because my mother wasn't exactly Mother of the Year. My father was wonderful, but he couldn't be there all the time. And my mother did her dirty deeds when no one was looking too. So I kind of learned very young to read people from a distance. And I learned how to make myself small and invisible. And I still, to this day, walk like a ninja through my house.
A ninja?
Yeah.
Not because you're sneaking up on people.
I'm just quiet.
Oh,
I'm just
Jimmy's like
naturally-
that, but I feel he's sneaking up on, like he just likes to do that.
Mm-hmm.
He's very
No,
quiet.
I know where every squeak is, and I know how to bypass every squeak in this house. And yeah, I'm just like a ninja. I know how to navigate areas I'm familiar with without making any sound. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, hold on
Pretty
a minute.
crazy.
It's 9:08. It's after
Are you guys
9.
sick of me yet? Aren't you
Let me
guys
see
sick of
here.
me? Don't you want to hear somebody else instead of me?
Okay. All right. Oh, so let's see, 9:07. Okay.
Yeah, my mother-in-law didn't like me because I took her baby. That was the problem.
Oh, you took
And I
it.
also made a mistake one time of saying that I got the pick of the litter, which was probably the wrong thing to say.
It's probably like a
But he
Cindy
really
Watts
was.
thing, right? Because the skater boy, and then yeah, pick of the litter.
I don't know, because I never ever say anything bad about my husband.
But maybe she
I
took
don't.
it the wrong way because she said pick of the litter, and maybe
I got
she
the
was
best one. Are you kidding? I'm telling her I got the best one.
right, but she probably heard her son's a dog. If that type of person probably heard that.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think, no. She knew exactly what I was saying.
But why'd she
That
get
I got the
mad
best.
then?
Because I took the best one.
I know, but
I took the one, but I took the one who actually heard the things that she said. Do you know what I mean? Who would respond to her, who would talk to her, who, I would dearly love to have, and then she'd fill in the blank. And by God, at Christmas time, it would show up because Mike heard her say it, so he would get it. That kind of thing. Then, of course, she'd ask for the receipt so she could take it back, so it never made any sense to me. But, yeah.
Oh, gosh. Sharon, would you come to New York City to meet some of us ramblers? Lisa H. and I have never been. Oh, you and Lisa H. are going to New York? I can't believe Lisa H. has not been to New York City. Can you believe that?
What?
That Lisa H. has not been to New York City.
Yeah, I can believe it.
You can?
I can believe it.
She doesn't live that far.
There's. I'm in Michigan, and people say, "Oh, do you know where Ada, Michigan is?" And I'll go, "No." But if you think about it, driving the entire length of the state of Michigan from where I live is the equivalent. If you turned around and drove the other way, it's the equivalent of driving to Kentucky. So it's a long way. Michigan's long, going all the way up to the UP. So I don't know if people say, "Oh, I have cousins in Ishpeming or something." Oh, well, that's nice. No, I don't know them. No, they live, 5 hours away. I don't know who they are. It's funny how it is. Mm-hmm.
You wish you could build a raft and come to New York, Evie?
They want to have Rambler Con in New York.
Rambler Con.
But on the lake, are we going to use the spare house and we all bunk out in the spare house?
Right.
How we're going to do it?
They are saying New York City. I don't know. Janelle's saying they've never been to New York City.
I don't care about going to New York City. I've driven past it. That's good enough. I've seen the Statue of Liberty. No, we all stay in that spare house of yours.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. We all just bunk out,
and
we'd be roommates.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we could even put extra tents on the deck for the overflow.
There you go. I don't want to sleep on the deck, though, okay?
I know, you'll get the bed. Don't worry about it.
I get a bed.
Yeah,
I need a bed.
I know someone.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we do. Everybody just goes there. Are you kidding? And then we all have big barbecues, and we all cook our best stuff and put it out there and have a, make sure everybody washes their hand and uses their hand
that's what
sanitizer.
that grandmother does. I like that. She always says, "I washed my hands," and she talks about how she washed the eggplant, and I like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I always washed everything very carefully. My father used to, we'd make salad or whatever, like if I was helping make dinner, and he'd say, "Make sure you wash it really good," because all he'd say is, "Dogs." That's all he'd say is dogs. Make sure you wash the lettuce good, dogs. Implying that the dogs go into the field and they pee on the lettuce, right?
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of things
dogs.
pee on the lettuce.
Was the way he said it, dogs. So I'd be, okay, yeah. So I've always watched it as though dogs had been near it. Yeah.
Oh, God. You would love to. My daughter's going to get the Christmas lights for you. She promised me. I just said to her again, you're going to do the Macy's windows and stuff for the people that have never seen that. Yes, she promises she is.
Alicia, yeah, I have been to the sand dunes on Lake Michigan. Absolutely. I've been into the ones in Canada, too, over by the Pinery.
Cat pee is
Well,
worse.
that's on Lake Huron, though, but I've been to the ones on Lake Michigan as well.
We all have the same sleep schedule.
Yeah, 4:12, and I'm
Lisa
wide awake.
Said
This does not bode well.
Okay, yeah. And then,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe someone said, well, maybe people will sleep in shifts, and someone said it's the same sleep schedule. So.
Would we'll all be up all night long? Are you kidding me? Look at all of us. Well, no, that's not true because everybody's in different time zones.
Right, then you'll have people that pass
We'll have to
out
sleep according to time zones, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm still going to be the last one to go to bed. I don't care. That's how it is.
My mother said she feels like that.
I need to cure this insomnia, and I don't know how. I don't know how. Better living through chemistry, right?
Yeah, you're going to live to what?
Yeah.
How old? What'd you say? You're going to live to what? What'd you say?
I said better living through chemistry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in other words, Ambien is my friend.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you were going to, no, I heard something else. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, better living through chemistry.
I'm trying to kick the habit of Ambien, and it's
do you have to take it every night to fall asleep?
Oh yeah, are you kidding?
Yeah? You never get tired and never fall asleep?
In the middle of the day.
Oh, in the middle of the day.
What good does that do me? Yeah.
But what about if you're in the car, like coming home, and that's my worst. Sometimes I can get like that, and I'm like, thank goodness Jimmy's driving the car because I get like really sleepy sometimes in the car.
You know what? I get kind of road hypnotized.
Yeah.
You know, where you're just watching the road, the road. But I will lean my head back and I might close my eyes, but I can't stay that way for long. I have to watch.
Oh yeah, me too. It's like I don't want to fall asleep.
I get a little motion
I
sickness
think Jimmy
thing.
will get in an accident if I don't watch him. And he goes, Carolyn, how many times do I drive without you here and I don't get in an accident? But something in my head says if I'm not watching, then something's going to happen. So I try.
That's how I feel the same way.
Yeah, it's crazy. And he's like, come on now, this is ridiculous, right? So I'm just like...
I'm like that on a plane, too.
Yeah, right. I
can't sleep.
I got to pay attention, right? Like, okay. Yeah, like you're going to do something, right? Yeah, I know.
I get the window seat and I watch out that window the whole time.
Does anybody know how to fly the plane? Please. I'll Google it. Let me see. It's so stupid, right?
Lisa, I do. I sleep best in daylight. I don't know why.
Because you're not supposed to. Probably just because you're conditioned that you're not supposed to.
I don't know. The night, I like the night. That's why I thought living in Vegas would be perfect. Because let's face it, that's when the place comes alive.
So too. I think people that go to bed so early, they miss the whole night. Yeah, they miss everything. I don't know.
I'm more productive at night. I'm way more productive at night.
Right.
I've been known to start dinner at 2:00 in the morning, you know, and put it in the crock pot and just let it cook.
Right, and then that's the whole thing that's so wrong. People say like, "Oh my gosh, it's only if you have to get up, you know, like at the crack of dawn and start your day and do this and that." No, not to people that are night owls. Just because you're productive at 4 a.m, you know, like just sleeping and then getting up before going, doesn't mean that everybody works that way. But that's how they teach it, you know. That's
I know.
the way. That's
whose
the only
idea
way to
that
be
everybody
successful.
has to get up at 6 in the morning?
Right,
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's not.
I did it. I served my time.
I
served my time. I did all the way through, you know, my working life, all the way through until I worked down at the airport, and then it was like, oh, this is cool. You know, I don't have to be there till 12:30. I have to leave at 10:30 to actually get to work by 12:30. But that's beside the point. But anyway, you know, my kid was a rower in high school. He had to be on the lake at 5:30 in the morning. 5:30 in the morning on the lake, which means I had to leave here at. The only reason I could get there is because there wasn't any traffic, and not only that, the traffic lights weren't even working; they were just blinking yellow. Right. So it was fast. It was only a half hour. Normally, it was 45 minutes to get them there. So, take away the traffic and take away the traffic lights, and it's not bad at all. But you had to drive around all the different lakes and stuff to get there. There was no clear shot right there.
Yeah, it's just like,
I paid my dues. I paid my dues.
But even when, like, I get my kids up, like, say at 6 and then taken to the bus, then I come back and take a little snappy. You call it, you're out there at 6 in the morning, you get them on the bus, and then it's your time to come back and take a little snappy. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
If I feel like it. Sometimes I keep going, but a lot of times I come back and take a little snappy, even if it's on the couch or something. Yeah.
Sure.
But I mean it doesn't mean that. But sometimes I'm like really energized especially if it's cold when I'm out there. Then when I come back, I say I'm going to get some work done, and then sometimes I take a little nap at like 9 or something. Crazy like that.
Yeah, my in-laws used to give me a hard time about wanting to sleep until like 10 o'clock in the morning on Sundays. Because they like to call. 9 o'clock every other Sunday. We were supposed to call. They called every other Sunday, and we were supposed to call them every other Sunday, and it had to be at 9 o'clock. Why, I don't know. And I was like, you guys, I want to sleep in. And they make fun of me because I wanted to sleep in until 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, they got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, but they also took 3-hour naps in the afternoon. I would get up at 10 o'clock, and I'd still be rocking and rolling at 3 o'clock in the morning. And where were they? They were all asleep is where they were.
Yeah. Well, I have a friend that goes to bed at like 7, and she used to get up at 4 in the morning, okay? And she didn't work. She just got up for her husband, got up at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
I've noticed she's gotten up now at 2 in the morning for the day. She goes to bed at 7, and now she gets up at 2 in the morning for the day.
Yikes. Oh, that's, no, that's terrible.
Don't say that to my turtle, Snappy.
I guess she could do a lot of shopping in the middle of the night then.
Yeah, but she would just get up and start working out, and she drank like a pot of coffee before. She was crazy. She would get up at 2. Yeah, when I see her, I notice because when I'm going to bed, she's getting up for the day. Like she's up for the day now. She's already slept and she's up for the day.
Yeah, my husband used to get up at 4:30 in the morning to get to work.
Well,
and
that's her husband too.
Get up so early because he'd get up, he'd read the paper, he'd have his coffee and maybe some toast or whatever, and then he'd go to work. I said, "What time do you have to be at work?" And I don't know, you had to be there like 6:30 or something. And I said, "Okay, how long does it take you to get there?" Because you know how I would have done it: take a shower at night, you get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, comb your hair, get your clothes on. I give myself 15 minutes. I'm sorry, 15 minutes out the door. I'm not taking time. Number one, I don't drink coffee. Number two, you can always take the paper with you. And I'm going to sleep in that extra hour. Are you kidding me? I'm not
I can
going to sit around my house for 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're nuts. Yeah. And my mother-in-law told me it was my duty to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and make my husband's lunch every single day. That lasted for about a week. And I said, this isn't really working out well for me, Mike, because, I got to go to work too. And I'm tired. So we changed that tradition. She was very unhappy about that. That's too bad. It wasn't her house. So
I can't sleep and even I guess okay, but I think we're going to finish that. We'll finish those next 50 pages tomorrow, because that's just insane. That case is just crazy. But yeah, we'll finish that 50 tomorrow, and
oh yeah, that's quite the read there.
I knew.
Good
yeah,
Lord.
Otherwise I'm going to have like no voice.
Yeah, but you did good. You really did a good job.
I didn't know. I didn't even want to look at how many pages. I knew it was a lot, but I didn't think it was that much. I thought I was getting to the end. You're up 27 hours.
I volunteered to read them. No, I didn't.
But yeah.
I would read it. But you guys don't want it. You would rather hear Carolyn. She throws in good snark too, which I appreciate. I live for that. So.
Hey, Bella Mac. But I am gonna go because I have to get a bunch of stuff and I got to make a call. But thanks for coming on, Sharon. You do it more often.
Sure. Anytime. Just tell me,
okay.
and I'll do it.
All right.
Okay.
And thank you to our moderators. Thank you. Thanks everyone in the chat. Thank you, Wildlife. And Wildlife, I'll get you something, and then Alicia, send me your address, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Okay, let me say good night, lovely ramblers. Have a good day tomorrow, and have a good day of those of you who are starting your day.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right. Good night, everybody.